stay here and have a fag.
We are buffering.
Yeah,
Come
I
on.
can't snooze yet. Yeah, it's on. We're on. Hi.
Is it?
Yay! We
Boom.
are live on YouTube.
Boom, mate.
Yeah. Woohoo!
We made it.
Hello, everyone. We've only been had some technical problems.
No, I've had technical problems. I've got the sweat now.
Oh my god, it's still playing. Let me switch it off there.
What's that?
Oh.
What happened?
No, the actual YouTube was playing. So
Oh my god, yeah.
It's a bit of
Isn't it weird hearing your own voice? I can't stand hearing my own voice. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Me too. Me too.
Do you have the same thing?
Yeah, it sounds like a real.
You have
It's a bit cringe.
You have a listen back, and I'm like, oh, I'll turn it off.
Yeah.
It's a bit cringe.
Yeah.
It is,
You
isn't
get
it?
used to it though, don't you? The more
You
videos
do.
you make, you get used to it. It's not so bad, but I used to hate it.
Yeah.
Now I know what other people go through, because I just sit talking all day, and I walk through the boatyard, and I walk in here, walk in there, just talking to everybody, like, don't you ever fucking shut up. I'm like, I cringe on my own voice, so maybe they wanted something.
My whole life, I would hear, when do your batteries run down? And I'm like, oh, geez, isn't that a bit rude? I mean, why is it that we can't?
I'm so sorry about that yesterday.
We're supposed to be doing a test on different things, and we didn't
And
really.
my phone died completely.
Yeah, we didn't. Yes. Oops. Now, if you hear a humming in the background, it's not a spaceship coming together, is all. Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's one of the big ships out
It's
there.
one of the big ships out there, the generator running. Yeah. So don't worry about that.
Someone just put on your live chat, they've put, Juicy and Lucy, you look nothing how I imagined. Good to see you, beautiful people. So I'll just read that one
wicked,
out.
isn't it?
Oh, this
That's
screen's
from,
broken. Oh.
Thank
Yeah,
God for-
yeah.
Hey, thank God for- we've had to have washes and everything these days.
We have had to have a wash.
You know, usually we're like, okay, just
And
whatever.
we've had to clean that bit.
That's this bit.
The rest of it is a shithole, but that bit's
Yeah,
not bad.
That's not bad.
Oh.
Anybody want to talk about anything? Good, right, we can all go home.
Oh, that's a
I'm
bloody
just
short
quite
one
glad
for
there's
you
not
guys.
500 people in the waiting room waiting to
Oh
come
my
on.
God, are you going to do an apology for that?
I am so sorry, guys. I've had a bad back this week. I've had a trapped nerve in the bottom of my back.
Don't I
I've
know
been
it?
on quite strong painkillers. And then in the middle of the week, I found this wonderful thing on the Facebook group that's called, you can create an event. So I thought, wicked, let's create an event so everybody can come and watch YouTube on tonight. And I kind of didn't word it right. And I think I invited everybody to come on the podcast. 500 people.
I saw that.
I've had to do a big apology. I'm so sorry. I really am so sorry. The painkillers were actually better than I thought they were.
Could you imagine 500 little windows?
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Oh my goodness. I need a magnifying glass.
It'd be like a nightmare. We're like, oh my God.
But I won't be able to say no to anybody. Do you know what I mean? I have to let them all on.
Over here in America, we have a game show called Hollywood Squares.
All
And
right.
yeah, could you just imagine? And we're like, it looks like this, where we're all in boxes. But could you just imagine all those people in boxes?
Yeah. We
People
don't
having
be
a
like that big. And we all sound like Smurfs, I presume.
Yeah.
I was just going to say little midget people. Little
Yeah.
midget
I'm squeaking.
Anyway, we've run out of lotus flour, so we thought we'd go. So we thought, yeah. So we thought we'd go for a big tumbler of juice. Twinning. So I thought,
Yeah.
try that.
So we've done that just before.
Yeah. So we just down that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's still breathing. It's all good.
That's what you want to attack on that, aren't you?
Yeah. The latest tactics on the Facebook group is people are now putting posts up saying they've had the tiniest little teaspoon.
A mouse's eyebrow.
And they are literally so ill and so poorly, and it's making them dreadful, and it's It's like, what are you people talking about?
They're obviously paid to say it. They're obviously paid to make everything sound really bad. But it's helping people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know,
some miserable
my husband,
people.
I thought he was.
It's bad juju. You know what I mean?
It's proper bad juju.
It's proper bad juju because these people are obviously they're not just doing it off their own back, because you can actually see the
They've
patter.
all got the same patter.
And it's like, I've had the tiniest little bit and this has happened.
And
then you're bringing children into it. Even a child.
My boss drinks a massive glassful every morning, and then she'll have a bit more with me in the afternoon.
I mean, what is it? It's grapefruit and water. Yeah. And that's literally
grapefruit, lemons, and water.
Sorry, yeah, that's that. I don't want it. Even though I made it this week. but that's all it is.
The ingredient is mostly water.
And so what their tactics are, it's like, I've had 1 little teaspoon in the morning and 1 little teaspoon at night, and
no, there wasn't even a teaspoon at night. This was 1 teaspoon a day.
Per day.
And they'd had it for 2 days.
Yeah, and they're dying.
And they're literally,
oh my God, so I've got this, I've got this, I've got that, and my child's got this, and my child's got that. Like,
I'm sorry.
What are you all about?
Are you fucking for real? But then.
I'll fucking maroonish our people. I'm sorry. I feel like Bugs Bunny.
So I said to you tonight, I said, let's cut the bullshit out. Let's attack them. So we actually said what we thought of them and who they are and what they're doing and anything else. And at
that point, they took my Facebook cover off the group and wouldn't let me re-add it.
Yeah. So there you go.
That says it all.
The Let's Get Well Quenning is under attack now.
So they're not just individuals; they are Facebook clubs.
Yeah, they're being paid to do it. No one's going to waste the time in the group, joining a group, and waste the time just putting stuff like that. They've been told what to say, and you can see the same patter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's awful.
Yeah.
It really is, because I remember somebody else said something about your kid go blind. Ridiculous, because I really thought my husband was a big skeptic about a lot of things I said, but he asked me to make him the quinine, so I did. And then he tells me, he reminds me, and he said to make it for him his day off, and I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll get it for you. And he says, because my vision's actually starting to get better. I'm not saying I can see all like
that's
perfect
vision. That's
it makes your eyes go like
this. It's getting better, not worse. Okay, that's what I thought. Because my father, his whole life, he swears by quinine, and so did his father. His father had lupus, and I don't know, but my father had bad arthritis and all this stuff, and he would swear by quinine and just drink it all the time. He still does. I mean, so I don't see why anybody even say anything. It's sold in the stores. This is just the homemade version. No big deal. I mean, what's wrong with people? I mean, get a grip.
They're just trying to ruin it for everybody else. That's what they're doing. They're going out of their way so that other people don't try it and don't benefit from it. It's really fucking sad. It's a really sad situation to do that to people. It's fucking cruel.
Yeah, it is. You're fuming, aren't you?
I am absolutely fuming.
And
it's getting worse and worse.
Because you've been doing it you've been guiding this for a whole year now.
Yeah.
And guiding it, and it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. It's just a daily thing. I mean, you're on that all day.
All day.
All those other people that they could push away.
Because I know one comment like that can ruin it for so many newbies. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Don't get me wrong, we get some wicked feedback, don't we? Saying thank you and
awesome.
Messages have been here.
Yeah.
And one lady, she's actually rubbed it on her skin. She had a skin irritation, didn't she?
She had a skin irritation on her upper arms, nowhere else on her body, just her upper arms. And I think she'd been to the doctors and tried all sorts of lotions and potions. And I think it happened on a seasonal basis. It would happen every fall or every spring. I can't remember what the lady said. But anyway, these doctors, none of them could work out what it was, what the problem was, or how to deal with it, or how to cure it. And she said she tried using the juice as a topical ointment, and it's worked an absolute treat.
Yeah, stopped it straight away.
Yeah.
So
might have a bit on my back actually.
Yeah, you should try it.
Yeah, I wish I'd have thought that beginning of the week. I've had to look after you all week.
Honestly,
I'm only 2 weeks in on the juice, but it's amazing. I mean, I can't believe I haven't tried it till now, but I've made my second batch today. and it's amazing. I do drink about quite a bit, but it's like I actually could drink a whole bottle full of it. I mean, I love it.
No.
And I feel I do.
Don't
eyes
you die?
like,
Well, Amanda's like, yeah, no, like that.
I'm like, whoa, ready to go.
That's how I was trying to put. When we first found this and we first started taking it, I used to get to work every morning like that. And they'd be like, fucking hell, Dad. And what you had? I went, a bit of juice. And didn't believe me.
They probably thought you were juicing like steroids or something really bad. Like
I went into a customer's house and we'd had some in the morning. And I went ding dong, and also I felt it coming on. The eyes started going, and I was like, fucking hell, I've got to try and hold this together. And literally could just feel the rush of this stuff. And I'm like, wow. Anyway, I was bouncing around this house. This is like a £3 million house. The customer, she went, I said, I had to put my hands up and say, I know it looks like I'm wide on somebody else, but it's just literally this juice. She was so impressed with how well fucked I was. She wrote the recipe down and fucking ordered it all more or less while I was there. Honestly, I was like, fucking hell, this is really, when you first start taking it, it really is.
I think it must be such a cleanse and such a purification, because it really cleans and purifies all your blood and everything, and it must be such a
bosh, isn't it?
One of them. Woohoo!
I do feel great. I feel amazing,
Yeah.
you know. I
can't
can't wait to drink it.
I know. Wake up in the morning, go, right, where's the fridge?
A lot of people, I understand, a lot of people can't have it on an empty stomach, but it is far better on an empty stomach.
Yeah,
first thing in the morning, no nothing. Yeah, whack that down with your quercetin and your zinc tablet, and you are off for the day. Even at night time, you get back at night time and go, what am I going to do now?
Show a bit more.
Show a bit.
That reminds me of the vultures on the Jungle Book. So what are we gonna do tonight, man? I don't know. What are we gonna do?
like the snake with the eyes. Like, lovely hell.
That's exactly it.
Imagine being pulled over by the old bell and you're like that. You got right, okay. Blah blah blah. Lemon and grapefruit. That's right, mate. Gonna go now.
Cute bugs, Shelly bugs, guys. What are you gonna? I don't want to interrupt you, but Shelly Green's cute bugs. They're like so
fabulous. They are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah,
they are brilliant.
She has.
They are so good, aren't they?
Have you seen them on the click buttons?
Yes. I can't wait to see the magnets that you came up with. I think that's just that's like fabulous. They're so cute.
Right.
Right, I'm going to see if I can share them.
Here we go. Everything off.
This is what we practiced yesterday.
And good night.
If we do this here, we will be back.
Oh no.
Oh my God, stop live streaming. No, let's not do that. Share screen.
Make sure you get the right photos.
Sure. Oh my God.
Yay!
This is all of Shelley's.
Oh, look.
They're amazing.
Let me just move you guys over there. And let's...
I love them. I think they're really good because
they're amazing.
How good is she?
Yeah. I mean, because they're happy. They're
so awesome.
They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Well, they're not age specific. They're not gender specific.
No.
They're not region specific. They're kind of like appealing to everybody, I think, which is really good.
Yeah.
Children, man, I can just see the kids going, and this will bring them to understand about natural things like homemade quinine. I mean,
school making it, wasn't it?
How in different places, and we're coming up with these things.
Somebody actually on the Facebook group, I'm so sorry, I can't remember the lady's name, but she posted that she was getting her, she was a teacher, she was getting all of her school kids to make the juice and take it home
Wow.
That's amazing.
How
isn't
amazing
it?
is that?
Yeah, it's so cool.
Oh, what about stickers then? If you had stickers made up for those schools so that they could teach the kids and they could put the Q bugs on it and the stickers,
Yeah.
that would be
Honestly,
fantabulous.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Wouldn't
So
it?
we're doing some fridge magnets,
So excited.
and then we're just trying to get somebody to do transfers, proper transfers, so you can iron them onto your tops.
Iron on transfers, so that
Ah,
because
yeah.
everyone's got their own design and their own trends that they like to wear, their own kind of tops or jumpers or whatever. It's pointless getting just a standard t-shirt made because I wouldn't wear
They
it.
look rank.
So we thought if we sell the actual transfers and you can put them on whatever t-shirt or jumper
And iron them on.
and iron it on
Then you
yourself,
can be-
then it's-
Yeah.
Then you
it-
can be
it's-
a bit more detailed. Remember we were talking about this, about keeping the logos simple so they could be, what do you call it?
Embroidered.
Yeah. We were
Yeah,
looking about
so
that
this
as well.
Yeah. It gets your way around that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have exactly what you want.
And you can have as many colours as you want.
Yeah.
Because with the embroidery thing, they told me it's more expensive the more colours you have. So
Yeah, it gets a bit messy. And then remember as a kid, especially in England, like you used to get to the bubble gum machine and you used to get the tattoo box.
Yes.
Remember then?
they were a little cute.
Yeah, and
Tiny,
they can
tiny.
stick, weren't they? So if there's anybody out there
That does them, that
that
makes them.
that can make lick and stick tattoo books, they'd be all in lick and stick tattoo books.
Wouldn't it? Actually, what
Yeah.
a great idea. Lick and stick.
Yeah, cute ones.
Cute
They
ones.
didn't lick them. We put water on them and then they went on us. But they still have.
Yeah. More of a smudge. You're like,
Yeah, you
I used to like flannel.
Yeah. I think we used cotton wool or something. I think.
Oh, really?
Wet cotton wool.
Maybe we should do it. Yeah, maybe we should. We got a friend that got a steel boat. I said, once we get this fridge magnet, we're going to
cover it.
Cover it. Dunk, 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 dunk.
Wendy in the chat says she really likes the artwork. She thinks it's lovely.
It is brilliant, isn't it? Well done, Shelley. You're
yeah.
Love you loads. I wish
you
could come on now.
She's doing the Tree of Life at the minute, isn't she?
Yeah.
Tree of Life.
From one of our journeys, she's doing
The Tree of Life.
a depiction of it.
The tree, it's awesome.
We can't draw for shit, can we?
No, you've seen my drawing, didn't you?
Yeah, Pokemon ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I don't know what it was.
Mine looked even worse.
No, it didn't.
I can't say I can do it. I mean, I can sculpt, but I can't draw. No.
Mine looked like you got a serious
I
problem.
really wish I could draw, but I just can't.
No, because when we've been on a journey and the energy embosses into the carpet, so it sort of like tries to show us things by embossing the energy into the carpet. And I'd love to sit there and draw it.
Yeah,
but we never get a chance because there's so much stuff going on. You go, why didn't we do that? And why didn't we do that? Like that?
And photos just don't come out.
We tried photos, but don't travel back.
They just don't. Like when you do a photo of a sunset, you just don't get what you're looking at.
What you're looking at. And we've tried it, and we tried doing photos and stuff, and they just didn't. We had like a dome spinning above us, didn't we?
Yeah.
And you could tell the camera was trying to zoom in on something because the camera just kept going backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards.
It kept changing its
focus because it was picking on what it was looking at. Boom, 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 boom. But when we come back, you
couldn't see.
You couldn't really see. You could, but you had to know it was there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's just a shame.
It is a shame. It is a shame.
But the Tree of Life's wicked. Wicked. It's a wicked story. Went on. It's a big palm tree. It's like a big palm tree that hugs the universe. So all the branches go all the way around the universe. Well, in palm, and in the palm tree, there's all stars and flowers which shine down, and it's all the flower cone. It's all the flower cone. We lost Shell.
Hopefully she'll be back.
She'll be back. Yeah. So she's doing a wicked painting, and she did she's done the mermaid one as well, hasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get that out soon as well.
Yeah, she's so brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Shelley, you are brilliant.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. We love you.
Yeah, I love you.
It is because like we have a conversation about our journeys or what we blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, within 2 minutes, she's got something down on paper.
Down something on paper.
Amazing.
Which in every little character she draws, I have this Kyle story in my head, and I'm just like, thankfully, I'm getting them emailed to me so that I can make the story for the little wee ones so they can see it.
Yeah.
And then I'm next. I want to do a story. I'm going to do. Well, we got the adult version, which is in the Sally. You know, there's the Sally story. I think Tash, you've read both series of the Sally story. But that I could convert that to a kiddie story so easy, really easy.
Oh, show us that.
And so once she gets bored of the books, I'm hoping she'll we're going to draw the Weavers.
Yes, the Weavers. Do you have a picture of the Weavers that maybe the audience?
No, but you know how well, I'm going to just, sorry, do you remember, because I said to Juicy and Lucy earlier, because we were talking about the Weavers, I don't know if you had them where you are, but we had these things called wiggly worms when we were kids, and it had a bit of nylon that you pulled it along and it looked like it was crawling along the ground.
Yeah.
I can't think what they were called, but that's what I imagine they looked like.
Wiggly worms.
They were, weren't they?
Yeah. And that's quite similar to the energy, what they look like, as in the fuzzy bit.
I don't know what those were.
No.
I'll see if I can get I don't know, work if I can get a picture up.
Let me see if I can Google.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
You can do this.
Yeah, let's do the share screen and show the audience what they look like, or what they similarly look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it. That's them, isn't it?
Yeah, that's them.
She's awesome
Right,
too.
hold on.
Let's see this.
All right, I've got to go back to there and click share screen.
So we've been practicing, can't we, eh?
Always happening.
Ooh.
Hey,
Yeah,
you see
them?
Oh, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you used to be able to wander
I had
around.
a purple one.
Yeah, it's quite similar to that, but it's all energy, and they're quite similar to that. Yeah, with a string through the middle. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you said it, I was like, oh my god.
It does look like that. Oh,
That's how I imagine them to be when you describe them. That's how I saw them in different colours, but obviously not so character. You know, the sort of like they're fun little characters. Maybe not quite that, but that kind of.
Honestly, they're so fucking naughty. They make me fucking laugh because they can take any form on they want, and they.
They're they are mischievous.
Yeah, See, because the thing is, when we go on the journeys, we get energy that gets put through the TV. So when I'm looking in the TV, it's almost like you get the
TV's not on.
TV's not
on.
on.
A black screen.
But
then they do something with the energy of the TV screen, so you can actually
watch it, see what's going on.
Almost like a shadow film, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, like with witches used to do, or people do, you know, scrying. Is it similar to that? But obviously, because you use a black mirror, didn't they? And then you can look at, a crystal ball. Is it similar to that? I guess.
Quite similar, yeah. And you can see all the. You can see. It's almost like energy I can't say it. Can't get that word. No, dramatic. It's fucking hell. It's all energy, but all like little characters in the screen, and they're showing you the story of what's going on or what you're looking at. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's something to do with the Akashic records because everything's been recorded. Maybe it's that's coming through, and you're watching what's stored in there. I'd probably say
but we can only see within a certain frame of light spectrum. As you ascend, right, as you become moving into 5D, your ability to see things becomes broader and broader and broader, and that's what's happening with you. You just have this ability, the pair of you,
everyone's evolving.
Your brains together. I think you manifest this because you can just simply see it now.
Yeah.
But you see it better than I do.
Yeah, but I've always had that. I've always had that as a kid, like I spoke before. I've always had that. It's just a case of we're at that sort of stage now. Whereas
I've always felt it, and I always used to struggle seeing it, but now it's not.
But now you see, and also like I said to you, you're going to start remembering a lot more of what we see.
And I have been.
Yeah.
I have been because before now I've been quite almost like suffering from amnesia with it.
Yeah,
things will happen, and then it completely goes out of my head.
I do that. It's nearly like I actually started to wonder if I was losing grip with reality on certain levels, like because I'm choosing to evolve and leave this old shit behind. That I wonder if I'm also. Well, don't they say 5D? It's not about remembering, like because schooling now is about remember and recite the same bullshit you've been taught, right?
That's what we're going to do about the letter later.
5D is not that. It's about knowing rather than remembering and reciting. So if we're going to knowing, then we're already in a state of we already have it. So we're not necessarily trying to remember. And I think, Lucy, that's what's happening. And only the other day, I just thought, I think I'm losing grip with part of the reality that I don't want to be part of anymore. That I'm So parts of that now, and I just think it's the same as that.
It's almost like it's not registering anymore.
Yes.
And we used to tell people. We used to tell people when this all first started and everything was very weaponized and everything. I said, put old programs on where it wasn't, where you can watch people in a crowd, and how it used to be, and watch that. And it just takes you back to that, and it's just to that era and shuts it all out.
Time travels. I agree. When you watch something older, you can actually connect and not siphon in, but because I do that too. I watch old stuff, but I watch in the background. Like years back, I decided I would watch a movie that I'd seen 100 times, but I would not look at the main character. This is really difficult to do because
you watch the background.
Try to watch the main thing, but if you watch what's in the background, what's happening in the background, what is not the main character, I think then I agree with you, Juicy. You just get to that comes in and you goes out. So it's like it is a way of cleansing, like time travel cleansing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And if you watch films and they're filming in a big city, and you, like you say, you watch the background, it always seems empty, like there's nobody there, like there's nobody living in the flats and in the buildings, and they always seem empty. You ever notice that?
When they haven't put the backdrop people in yet.
It's almost like they're in a big.
It's almost like they've forgotten to put backdrop.
You're filming in a city, which is like on set. They're properly there before the green screen, and you look in the background, and there's nobody really living in any of the buildings. It's really bizarre. I'll check it out next time.
No, reality is.
Now you can feel that it's all empty.
But I mean, we assume that life is happening the way that our mind tells us it's happening, that's a real person there, that that's something real over there. We manufacture all of it, we create all of it. So I guess in the movies, when we're looking at something that wasn't thought about and created in that headspace back then, yet we're expecting to see it now because that's what we create in our reality.
We had that with your favourite film, didn't we?
There used to be a TV show here in America called Land of the Lost, and it was so. Oh my God! It was so like fake. All of it was fake, and it was like, how did our brains think that was?
And then so true.
Creatures that were called sleeve stacks that reminds me of the Draco, and they mined for crystals. Wonder why they did that, because TV and stuff tell you what they're doing. Hi.
But it wasn't that long ago in the UK. You could go to the shops and you could buy magic mushrooms. You could just go in there. And
you saying that? I'm like, wow, really?
Yeah.
When we lived in Leicester, you could go to a shop and buy a punnet of them.
Yeah, but you could buy a kilo of them if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Right.
There were shops in London down Camden Market where they literally used to have big fridges full of big punnets full of them.
That was an interesting journey on the way home, wasn't it? We've been down to see some friends in London. We went into the magic mushroom shop because you just go in and buy what you want. So we ended up like munching on them, didn't we? Yeah. Then we thought we've got to get home. So we're sitting on
a week later.
Yeah, we're sitting on the train coming back.
Going back to Leicester.
Yeah.
From London.
And anyway, the conductor walked past, didn't she? I says, "Are we in the station at the minute?" She went, "No, we're currently doing about 120 miles an hour. Why?" I went, "No reason." I thought we were fucking station, mate. Trying to get back from London. Fucking hell. Wasn't it?
It was an experience.
Jesus Christ. But the thing is, I used to have a favourite film, didn't you? Indiana Jones. I said, put that on and watch it on mushrooms. Yeah. Completely ruined it for her because you could see
every single mistake and
toy car that blew up
and fakeness.
Yeah, and you can see all like little toy cars.
It all just seems to jump out the screen.
Yeah,
and just ruined it.
But if you watch it normal, you think that it looks real. But because you can actually see through the bullshit, you can see the little plastic cars going off the cliff and everything. So it paints
and every mistake, you can see every mistake and every cock up in it.
Everything. So you see through the veil.
Right? Sorry? You drop away from the matrix, so
yeah,
you're not seeing what's projected.
You see it for what it really is.
Yeah, you see how shit it is. Shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
You ruined my favourite films.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, but they I don't know, it's mad. It's a few years ago, but they declassified magic mushrooms, so there was selling all the shops. And you just
even the foreign ones.
No, you Mexican, this, that, and you could buy whatever you wanted. You just went in and bought whatever you wanted for the weekend, magic mushrooms, and then they reclassified.
Even sold like little kits so you could grow your own. Didn't they?
Yeah, even sold kits so you grow your own in your own cupboard. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know you could buy kits to grow. I had not till recently. Here in America, some states already allow you to do it recreational.
Do they?
Do they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I knew the councils. A long time ago, they went around spraying, killing all the spores of the magic mushrooms. The ones that grow. They went around all the recreational places and a lot of the countryside, spraying, trying to kill the spores, trying to kill them all off.
Oh, of course they do. They fucking want to kill everything off, don't they?
Yeah.
Kill anything that's fun and good.
Yeah.
But that's when you know you're doing it right.
Yeah.
The what?
We have to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah.
Not allowed to do that. I mean, I don't want anybody to kill anybody, of course. And I here in the United States, they're actually, making them so that they're capped off. Like there's a percentage, they're only allowed to have a certain amount. They're regulating it. Right. They're regulating it so that people don't hurt themselves, which is good. And then we don't have the thugs all over the place coming in and raping or murdering or anybody, to sell the things. So get rid of all that. I mean, I don't think everybody should go out and just go get on every drug, but why not? If you want to, you're an adult.
Why not?
But it's your body.
It's about choice, isn't it? It's about choice.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's about choice.
Personal
Taking
choice.
people's choice because you're trying to keep them away from danger is one of the obvious fucking things in the book. What do you do with your kids when you're just trying to keep them, so they don't get up to too much mischief, so you don't have to chase them and worry about them? You should do exactly that.
Yeah.
They put them on Ritalin. They give them all these prescription drugs for kids and say, here, take this Ritalin or whatever, and it's not good for them. But that's okay. I mean, not that I think kids should be out there doing all that either, though. I mean, that's a parent's choice.
That's what is gobsmacking about the attacks you have on the juice group, isn't it?
Yeah, because it's people's personal choice about their own health, and everyone's got the right to choose what you want to do for your own health.
But blood pressure is still number one.
Yeah, the top best result at the minute is blood pressure returning to normal, and that's a lot.
That's a lot. It's the biggest thing you're seeing, isn't it?
It is.
Blood pressure results.
And you think
that's from people who have taken their own decision to either take their medication from their doctor or not. It's completely up to them. No one ever tells them what to do. It's their own personal choice, and they've even decided their results are even that good. They don't actually need any medication anymore.
Yeah, they've gone back to the doctors and they said it's normal.
Yeah. One lady with a pulse rate. She had blood pressure problems and something to do with her pulse as well. She said it's all gone back to normal.
Yeah. And she stopped taking the quinine for 2 weeks to see if what would happen. It stayed normal.
It stayed normal.
Oh.
Yeah.
The stuff is amazing. I wish I wasn't allergic to the stuff, but hey, I know.
I wish you could have it. I wish you could. You can still take the quercetin and the zinc if you wish. Yeah.
I mean, medical marijuana is amazing. It does pretty much kind of the same thing, because like I said, I lost 276 pounds. My blood pressure's way down. I have it controlled. I so much stuff in my body that I didn't even know was wrong with me. Like, I knew it was wrong with me, but I didn't know it was going to help me. You know? Then I realized how anxious I actually was if I talked really fast. People couldn't understand me or whatever. And it put things together that, I don't know. I mean, it was just, I had a rough childhood or whatever, stupid crap. But anyway, my head's like finally normal. It's something I could use. So I say to each his own, and if you find what cure, and this is a natural, medical marijuana is natural. And I'm telling you, many, many people here in Ohio could testify, because we're medical patients. So
yeah, we've tried that. I've tried the medical one. Yeah, it's a lot. I think it's more of a high than a whacker, if I remember. Medical one's more of a woohoo. That's what we went partying on for weekend.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like that, you put that, you can make edibles. You don't need to be woo woo. Once you get used to it, you're not really woo woo. It actually, your pain level, because I have fibromyalgia, it goes away. Like, I mean, I have some pain that I use this other recipe that I made, this natural, that I use when I can't deal with the pain, because sometimes it gets bad. But most of the time, I'm good. I couldn't do a lot of things before. But I'm good.
Right. Postman's here. Anyway, don't forget pen and paper.
Pen and paper, yes. Are we doing it?
Are we going to do it? Should we do it?
Yeah. We're ready.
You ready?
Are we ready?
Are we ready? Right. Now the thing is, the way this works is your hand is almost like a keyboard. So when you go to school, somebody shows how to draw a symbol, and then that symbol that they get shown how to draw, then computes your brain and embeds that symbol, and then becomes a language. So even if you're like, if you was taken away at the age of say 2 or 3 and went to say Japan or whatever, and you was taught, you would speak that fluent language through the hand. It's the way that they can program your brain to a language.
The hand teaches the brain.
Hand teaches the brain.
By drawing the symbols, it then computes into the brain, which then computes into a language.
And all symbols are the same. So hieroglyphics and everything else, it's all symbols, it's all everything else. So depending on what symbols or whatever that you're shown is the language that you know, and then makes you who you are through the language. Within words, there's a lot of, that's why they use black and white ink and everything else. There's a lot of spells and a lot of everything else in language, and the way intentions. There's a lot of intentions in writing and stuff, and and you can see the energy come out when we go on a travels and whatever. But you can actually see the energy coming out of the page. You can actually see the energy coming out of the words. It pours out certain words, so there's something behind it. Yeah, and that's why. Abracadabra caught my attention because the energy coming out of it was like a vortex. It was like woof, and that's what caught my attention, and that's what then gave me the download for the clock, because it just gave me the whole thing. Because like I was saying the other day, wasn't it? You got to remember that clock is only there because of that download we had. It isn't in any literature. It's nowhere else in the universe.
It's not in any books. It's not in any films. Not in any.
It's nowhere.
It is on the internet, but because we put it there.
Yeah, it's on the internet, and that clock is there because it was given to us for when we was going through all what was going through. I think it's always looked after us. And then when people go, "Why do you 666?" when you're thinking, because it's the symbol, it's the clock. Because it all ends in 666.
It's the outer edge of the clock.
It's the outer edge of the clock.
They all line up to 66666666666 all the way around.
All the way around. And I says to you, I don't know what.
Nothing to do with the devil.
Nothing to do with the devil. It's that 666, and then that's 72, and 72 is like full size, and 72 is 9.
9 equals cleanse and purify. And it also means universal completion.
And yin and yang is a 6 and 9 upside down, which people forget about. It's just because that's what yin and yang is. And then in the UK, you've got 999, which is 666 upside down. And back in the day when people used to ring the police, 999 was the furthest away on the dial. So when you just go, it's gone now, mate.
I've always said that.
Yeah. Like that. Yeah, can I help you? No, all right, mate, it's gone now. Do you know what I mean? It should have been 0 or you know what I mean, or 111, even back in the day. Because it's the fastest to get response. Why is it the furthest away? And then there's another thing we spotted, wasn't there? On old phones, it had ABC number 1. Yeah?
On the old dial phone.
In old dial phones. It had ABC 1. And that right, is the same as what's on your mobile phones now for texting, but you didn't text with a normal phone. Well, what the hell was that about? Huh? It shouldn't have been
we
there.
never used the letters, did we?
No, we never used letters. So literally, you get an old phone, a picture of an old phone, and it has the same letter symbols to the numbers as what your mobile does. It's sort of programming you ready for what's coming out because they've already got the technology.
Yep.
And also,
Scandalous. by
doing numbers and thingies, it relates to symbols in your writing, in your handwriting. And code, yeah. So it's all relevant to us, isn't it? So what this does, it takes the letter. No one's ever wrote a letter. This was like given to us on our travels, same time as Abracadabra, wasn't it? Really? Yeah. And it was given to us as a download or whatever, how it works. So as we spoke about on the last one, the daffodil, the fuck it is a break word. You know, when we spoke about it before. In relationship, when you really mean fuck it, that problem goes away. It breaks. So it's like
any kind of problem.
Any sort of problem.
As soon as you reach and really mean fuck it.
Fuck it.
Fuck it.
It breaks that problem and that problem goes away. It's a break word. And all swear words are break words. Basically to protect you. That's why I don't want you're not allowed to say them because you don't because you're losing that protection of a break word. Yeah,
I want to keep you away from it.
I want to keep you away from that break word. So they go, oh, you can't say that word, you can't say this one, you can't say this one, you can't say that one. Well, why not? It's a word. Yeah, because so them words there are break words. They must have code in them that protects us. That's why you're not allowed to say them. It must be an old language.
It must be
an old language that we're not allowed to say, and that's why they keep you away from it.
We found out quite a while ago the C word, I won't say it, the C word actually
country, England.
I thought you were going to say it.
No, country, it's in there. Scunthorpe.
It's in there. Can you get us in trouble? That word actually originally meant high priestess or goddess.
Yeah. No one believes me when I tell them that.
No, I know.
Oh God, that word. And I go, that's what it means.
Yeah.
They're like, no, it did not. It's just a dirty word.
It's a word.
It's a
They
word.
made
Yeah.
I know, it's just a word.
the way
Yeah.
you wanted it.
Yeah, but it's not just a word; it's what's in that word, and it must be an old language of ours and an old coding of ours to protect you. Because when you go fuck it, it really does fucking protect you. And whoop, and then if you when you take swear words out of your dialect, yeah, you become not funny anymore.
Yeah.
It's
I
true.
can't give up swearing. I've tried.
It's more monotone, isn't it?
Yeah, you take swear
There isn't as
words.
much depth.
There's no depth. There's no depth. There's no humour. It just makes everything like a mono, and it kills it. But by using them words in like, oh, you fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, what?
You can't help but laugh.
You know what I mean? It's endearing, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like it's the intent that you say it with.
It is.
Yeah.
Contrast.
Yeah, the contrast. And it
Yeah.
gives you that, doesn't it? And it also gives you a whole picture of, you know, what an idiot is. Yeah. Right. You know, it's like, oh, that's right. And he paints a whole picture of what you know what it is.
Yeah.
So
It's funny because I did have a massive block around swearing. You know, I was really, you know, the prim and proper little girl, and I wouldn't ever.
then she met us, and we lived
Dirty
down
word
the road.
come out my mouth. But now I can't get enough of the word. Honestly, I'll say it quietly because my daughter's asleep over there. So I don't want to, you know,
We have to
you know,
shout up,
don't
yeah,
really
we're
wanna
not
go
fucking
to
swear.
bed, you know, but I just can't. I use it all the time now, but I wouldn't dare use those words when I was younger. I was programmed very well.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is, you see, and there's another one. When people used to come party man our house, yeah, I used to go, take your watch off. And then I can't take my watch off. I went, take. I said, you feel tired? And I went, yeah, I've been partying. You know what I mean? I said, take your watch off and put your watch on.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock.
Anyway, they had a problem taking the watch off. Right? I said, take your watch off and put it on the fireplace.
Nice and safe. Nothing will
Yeah,
happen to
and
it.
you'll feel fine. Anyway, they used to forget about the watch and they're wide awake again and running around like idiots and partying all weekend. And then have to come around and knock at the door. Can my watch back?
I've just got a
Forgot
question
about
for you
it.
guys. I got a question on the live. Just have to put my glasses
Okay.
on.
Yeah.
Right. And it says, I see your point. We're talking about swearing here. I see your point, but don't you think that overuse of curse words causes them to lose potency? Like when people use the F word, like Smurfs use Smurf.
It's usually people who don't swear that say that.
Yeah. The thing is with swearing, I mean, like, it's like I work on building sites, yeah. So it's all we hear all day.
I don't find it loses potency at
No,
all.
and she's terrible. I could be working around an old person's house. You ring me up and go, do that what? No, you're on speakerphone.
You never told me though. I
I
never know
recommend-
But yeah, you see, it's been labelled curse word. You see,
Yeah,
I mean, that's a good,
yeah,
that's a
curse
good
word,
point she's
yeah.
mentioned. Yeah, that's a good point she's mentioned. Curse word, because the powers that be have bought that. I've gone, oh, you're cursing. Well, cursing means you're putting a spell on somebody, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So let's reverse that back. Yeah, and it means that you're cursing, using the word. You're cursing, as in putting a spell on somebody by using that word. Yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So yes, you are, because you're protecting yourself. But yes, you are. But it's been stolen because it's probably being used against us in code.
Or is it decursing?
Decursing, more like.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
why
so
I think
good
maybe
point.
some people are uncomfortable when you swear because you're offering them freedom.
Yeah.
If swearing is turning it around, because not many people like freedom or independence. Everyone blathers on they want it. As soon as they get it, they shit themselves because they want the establishment to think for them, or where are my parameters to think.
Yeah.
But if you take someone out of the comfort zone and throw them something they're not used to, which is like throwing someone in the middle of Italy when you don't speak Italian, you would shit yourself going, oh, I'm out of my realm, I'm out of my zone. So maybe swearing is freeing people and they're just uncomfortable with you doing that via way of a cuss word or a rude word or whatever you want to call it. And you're not even an authoritarian, like we're all taught to respond and to bow to authority. Since we're little, everything is about authority. And that's where the problems start for all of us, right? Is because we're so diligently taught to obey authority. But if you're swearing and you're setting someone free by way of where authority says, oh, don't say those words, and then you set them free by saying them, then I guess you're just watching the argument inside of a human where something's telling them, yet this small only knows to say, hey, don't swear at me. Don't swear at me.
Maybe that's the problem, you see, with like the ones that aren't so much awake, they haven't given a proper fuck it yet. What, as in fuck it, what the fuck's happening? And because that word is being blocked from not can't use that. And because you're not going, fuck it, what the fuck's happening, man? You know what I mean?
You're not proper if you swear. You're not. It's not proper to swear. Remember hearing that when you're a kid? It's not proper to swear.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I recommend a video on YouTube called "The History of the F Word." The F word.
I see that.
Adjective, all this stuff. Look it up.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
The Indian guy.
Yeah.
The Indian guy.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah, brilliant.
Absolutely awesome.
But you see, when we spoke about in the last one, I won't go into it, but the daffodil. And when I went, I really meant I've been trying to open this daffodil using energy to paint the picture of the daffodil, and you could see it wanting to open. It was like, it was going. It's like, and I was like, anyway, after about 8-9 hours, probably longer than that, I was went, oh, fuck it. And it went bang and opened. I was like,
released it.
And then we went and put it in with the rest of the daffodils. I went through the same sort of thing. I went, fuck it, boom, and they all started to open. I went, what it is because I've been painting that perfect picture to that plant, which is a separate entity, and it works on its own sort of timeline. And then because I've been painting it, yes, it's right, but it's coming from a different sort of source. And yeah, I want to, but no. And then the fuck it was a break from me and it was just left with the perfect day, and it opened, bang. Just what I mean? It was left that last break, and that's when I realised I've made a break that we broke with nature, or broke with that what we was doing, and I was like, fuck it, broke that, and it was left for the perfect day, what it should, like it would. Because a daffodil will open. A daffodil is like one of the first flowers that opens, and it's going to open when the weather's right and the bugs are about and it's not going to open before that. They even grow in your drawer, even if you left bulb in the drawer, and it's growing in your drawer because they're all connected. All the plants are connected. Yeah. So even if it's in your drawer and you've got a few bulbs in your drawer, you pull your drawer out and there's a daffodil growing because the same size as what they are outside because they're all connected.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's like I was like, wow. So that's where the fuck it. So I realised the fuck it was really powerful. And then we spoke about last time about the plants dying when we took that energy off and gave her a voice back and everything else. It's all to do with the fuck it. It's that break and everything else, wasn't that?
Yeah.
So I know how powerful. I know we got the letter we're going to write in a minute, and I know how powerful the word fuck it is because of the background on our side of what we was dealing with at that time, and the energy between us and the plants, and of course they're connected to the universe, they're connected to everything else. So you're connecting to everything through nature, and it was just that break. So I know the power of the word fuck it, as in you. It's just things that you mean.
Your intention, you mean?
Yeah, you're breaking that bond. You're breaking that bond with that plant.
It's like apron string.
Yeah, you're breaking that bond, and it's just left for the perfect day where it should open. And the effort that you put into it, it opened. And there's a lad in there, my mate Paul. He goes, "You're nuts, you're nuts." He was like, "Oh my god, what?
You're fucking crazy, you are."
You're mad, you're mad. And he's like, when he ran out of the house, it freaked him out that much. He ran out of the house. He's like, "My god." I'm like, "Paul, come back to the fucking daffodil was open." He's like, "Mate."
This is fucked up if he's actually watching.
Yeah, he would be. Yeah. I used to terrorise all our mates, didn't I? Because there was like on purpose, nicest possible way. Because I'd learned all this, and I was like training with it, and I used to get energy and load it into the legs, so it made it really heavy and fix it to the floor so they couldn't run away. And they'd be trying to get away, and they're like, "Why is the leg not working?" And I was like, "Brilliant." So it's nice now because we're going back to the beginning when we started all this. You know what I mean? It's like we put some tunes up the other day of our after parties. Did you listen to them in them, Tash?
We put them in Telegram.
Yes.
We didn't put them anywhere else.
Yeah,
do you
they
like
were rocking. I love them. I was like, oh my God, that's my dressing
banging.
gown.
Do you listen to them, Amy?
I didn't know you put them out there.
No.
I'll have to share them on Facebook as well. I'll have to reshare them.
Yeah, no, the one thing is, so basically, after we was looking for some stuff, and we found all the old mixes that I made many years ago. So when we used to have the house parties.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I did.
Them tunes
I had
banging,
2 on.
they?
Yeah, they were.
It's not just the energy of the music; it's the energy of the situation we were all in, and everybody's together. And...
It was the start of the Abracadabra. Full houses, and then I used to be on the decks.
All having a laugh and a giggle, and
I was sort of like looking what was missing in music and trying to re-put the music back together because the government had made the double beat illegal. You know what I mean? So banned it.
I remember you saying about this, and I was trying to do some homework on it, and I couldn't find anything.
You won't find it. It's out there. You got to trawl it. But there's big.
There did used to be YouTube videos on the actual protests that a lot of ravers went to London to protest about this policy they came out with. But I can't find it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what year it was?
I think it was 95.
95. Yeah, because the double beat does this.
There was a big, massive protest in London. Where was it? Was it Buckingham Palace?
No, it's Trafalgar.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and loads of people turned up for it, and they had music going and all sorts, trying to, we want this policy changing.
And that was the end of the rave scene. They killed it.
Wow.
They killed it by banning the double beat. So
and they put that many things on music licenses. And they stopped a hell of a lot of music being, because they used to import a lot of music as well, didn't they? On the dance scene.
Yeah.
And that all got kind of.
Oh, was this when they changed
down with loads of laws and.
That was the wall, wasn't it? Hitler did that, changed 432 hertz, I think, didn't he?
Yeah,
440.
It's this. Yeah, it's this. Because we used to. I said there's something missing, something's going wrong. So we used to go around charity shops and we used to find boxes and boxes of 90 to 96 house music, white labels, just being dumped in charity shops.
Still with cellophane on.
Still brand new.
No, unopened.
Unopened. Yeah. So,
not just a few either, literally boxes and boxes.
Boxes. I was working away at the time. You had to get a friend in a car to pick them all up. There's that many to get them home because there's boxes of them.
Yeah.
All white labels.
And all absolutely banging. Wicked.
So we used to bring them home and then we just set some decks up and we started playing them, listening to like, one thing is why they're in charity shops and they're coming to us, which is like really weird.
Everything happens for a reason.
I even said to you, didn't I? I said to you, keep an eye out, go around the charity shops because there's going to be a massive dump of white label, 12-inch white labels. Keep an eye out. I said, round about Wednesday. Anyway, she was walking around town, going around the charity shops on Wednesday and just had a massive delivery, and there's about 400 white labels we got.
They were just dropping them off. They were just dropping them off at the charity shop as I went in there, and I was like, I'll have them.
And
I'll have the lot.
She goes, how much? Just give them £100. So give them £100. And you bought them all home, and we just took them out the cellophane, all brand new, never been playing, and then started mixing them. And we're like,
wow. Amazing,
amazing
music.
They actually mix
every single one, not just the odd one. Every single one was
banging.
Awesome.
The depth, the quality, the sound quality, and they actually mixed themselves as well. They actually on the decks. You know, it's like what you see DJs these days, and I used to say to them, "You lot are cheating." I said, because you're just punching numbers in and starting one and starting another. So basically, we used to have a friend of ours, this DJ, he used to come around the house, and I used to get all his. He was going to go like mix in the club, so I used to get all his records and put them in different sleeves and fuck him up when he got there.
As well. And not just that, Juicy made a mix of all of this lad's records, all the B-sides. And he didn't even realise they were his records.
He didn't even know they were his records. I said, yeah, I made a CD for you. Take it with you. Honestly, it's like, I didn't even know. So we knew. So we were trying to.
We knew something dodgy was going on.
We knew something dodgy was going on.
Why were they all being dumped in charity shops? And who shops in charity shops? It's not DJs, is it?
No. 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 I mean, we've just moved into the boat, and I've got a container at the side of it, a steel container, and half of it's full of vinyl that we got. So then tracks that you listen to, that's all part of them records coming to us, and then there's mixing them together and recording them. And I've got thousands of recordings, but a lot of the CDs have got damaged over the years. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a thing in, cut bad bits out, and put an album out. The after party.
Yeah.
Because it's got the energy of us, Abracadabra, the start of everything. We're doing the banks at the same time. We're sorting the mate stuff at the same time. We're looking at the music at the time. We're doing all that in a weekend.
Cool.
It's like when we look back, we're like, that time was stretched out to do it all.
But we think that's what Abracadabra does, isn't it?
Yeah, it stretches time.
It gives you the right amount of time to fit in exactly what you need to do perfectly.
Each sphere is like a dome. You can imagine. So each sphere is like a dome. So you can be spinning on a 72, but it's the size of a 12. So the dome sizes are different, so it gives you more time. When you're at work, the day really drags because people are making the money out of you. Yeah. But when you're not at work or at lunchtime, the time really flies because that's your time.
Yeah.
It's almost like, that they control, the time is controlled by who gives you the money. Yeah. And then obviously you go, God, that was a long day. But like you spend time on your own and the day's gone like that because they're making money out of it. It's the way the system works.
Yeah.
They want
the control they have.
The control you had over you. Yeah. And Abracadabra has something to do with giving you time to do things in your time, not somebody else's time. Because when you work for somebody or whatever, you're in their bubble. Yeah. Their time, and they want that 8 hours. That 8 hours could feel like 16 hours. By the time you get home, you feel absolutely buggered.
When you say the abracadabra, do you say it before you want something or after you say what you want?
It was given. It doesn't really work like that.
No.
It was just literally that I downloaded that. That was given to me, and I unpicked that.
If I wanted to use it, say, like I heard Mark Atwood.
If you want to use it, I suggest you draw it.
Draw it. Now then.
Draw it yourself. And then the energy of that, of you drawing it with your hand and your brain and your paper and whatever colours you want.
Yeah. Now the fuck it letter and everything else comes with this whole package.
Yeah.
So I says to you tonight, maybe what we should do on one of these Zooms, we'll do a sit down and we'll go through the whole clock together and we'll all draw it together how it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be great.
It's something we never got to doing the old Abracadabra because of all the stuff. But I think if we have a sit down and we go through the whole thing, and
I might have to do it in sections. Because it takes so long.
It takes well, no, I can do it in 2 minutes, but I understand it. But obviously, somebody can keep an eye on the monitor, and then we can do a group one all together, which would be kind of amazing. Do a group one.
Very.
Yeah, and to see what energy that gives.
We're doing the fuck it letter first.
Doing the fuck it letter, going to swap the hands over first.
Yeah.
And the thing, because another thing that I was shown, you can actually swap your hand over as well. So if you're dominantly right or left, it depends on your eye. So if you're dominantly left-eyed, then you'd be right-handed and vice versa. Yeah. So you can swap your dominant eye over. So then it makes you dominantly left-handed. It shuts your right side down and opens your left side up. That left side's never been channeled with a language. So then you can learn through that. So when people used to come around at weekends and I was teaching loads of people. We've helped thousands of people in the past, and I was teaching people. It was hard work because if there's right-handed, everything was channeling down the right-hand side, and you've got all these blockages. Yeah, because of the symbols and the language and everything. So I was shown how to switch somebody over to be left-handed. So I switched them to be left-handed, and then all the information just flooded in and wrote over the other stuff. So, but this is the start of it. So if we do the letter, Yeah.
Let's do this letter.
Let's do it. Woo.
Is everybody ready?
Bedtime.
Yes. Right. So you start off with.
Go on then.
dear, your name. Now, this could be any name you want, your nickname, your real name, your preferred name.
Porn star name.
Porn star name, whatever you prefer. I'm going for Lucy tonight. Dear Lucy. And the next bit is, I know what I know. Yeah. The next bit is, you know what you know. I don't know what I'm right now.
I've never been so fucking quiet.
So the next bit is, so if you're not prepared to listen, to what I have to say,
Cool. That's that good for everybody?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
the next bit is, fuck it all.
Oh, yes. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Oh, my writing suddenly got really like big and like.
Yeah.
Mine too.
And do you know what it is, Tash? It's going back to when you was a kid at school, isn't it?
Oh, we can't write that sentence. It's kind of weird.
Really passionate though, and I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Mine's in capitals.
Yeah.
It's all going
Mine
on.
too.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it all.
And then sign it, whatever name you want to sign it.
And put whatever date you want on it. Star date 1, star date 2, whatever. Because time is irrelevant.
So do we need to date it at all then?
Don't have to. You can do whatever you want with the date.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What does the date?
And
what does
then-
that date mean? If you can do any date.
Well, you see, the date with the calendar we're on is quite 3D. So you can put whatever date you want on. It don't make any difference because it's your letter. You're writing it to yourself. So we use star date 1, as in like, because it's the start of the new.
Yeah.
Okay. You can
so
use
you're
whatever
writing
you want.
down Stargate 1. So you're literally writing the word Stargate
Stargate.
Star
1.
date, yeah.
Star
date
date,
1.
sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll nick that then.
She's gone 22.
I've gone for 22.
She's gone for 22. You can put whatever you want. What it does is it just breaks that.
7.
Yeah, it just breaks that format of what, a year, a day, a month, a this, a that, because that's all a load of bollocks anyway.
Right.
And then the last thing you do is right from, you'll see, can you see that? Right through the whole page.
Yeah, big cross.
Yeah.
A big cross with no breaks in it, all the way from top to bottom, all the way through it. You can see that.
Done.
Now that's
Yeah.
Now that's the fuck it letter, and that is expelling. So because the X goes on last,
Big X.
To expel something is to get rid of something. Yeah. So to expel, now a spell isn't frogs, toads, and newts, and a bit of this and a bit of that. It's a phrase or a word, like you said, like that lady said about a curse.
Yeah, or a language.
Or a language. Yeah. Doesn't matter what the language is or what the symbols are, because all symbols are the same. Yeah, it's the same teaching.
It's a spell.
That goes back to runes or ancient sort of like Royal Star language, which is runes as well. And you can go back through the whole universe, but it's the same symbols, it's the same coding. Yeah. So we get taught from A to the end of the alphabet. Now the original alphabet had 24 letters in it, because the old runes, it went A to X. Yeah. So basically it goes back to the old way. So X. So now you're in control of the language from X to A. That's why a lot of big insurance companies are called AXA, A-X-A, and they use them words and symbols in it. Yeah, it's like OXO used to be a spell many years ago, like the OXO cube with the X in the middle and the O on the other side. So X. So you're in control of the language now from X to A, and back and from A to X. So you take from, but when you was at school, you get taught from A to Z.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why not many words are in Z. Yeah, because like they've had to, let's make some more.
Yes, it's a very new thing.
Because it's quite new. Look at the dictionary, you look at the last 2 letters of the alphabet, yeah, there's not many words in it.
No.
It's not.
It's new. It's not. But all the other stuff. And so basically, you take control. So basically, if you look at that letter, what you're basically saying is, I know what I know, whatever it is. Yeah. You know what you know. And if you're not prepared to listen to what I've got to say, it could be about anything, then fuck it all. I've had enough. Yeah. I know what I know. I know what I know. It's a break. It's a fuck it. Yeah. It's a fuck it. It's a double fuck it. See you later. Now, that then reverses all that teaching and spells and everything else, laws and everything else that's put upon you, because all these teachings and stuff, there's spells in all these words and languages and laws. It's all spells.
Yeah.
It's all intentions and spells and everything else behind it. There's an energy in the word. So, of course, by doing that, you're taking control of the alphabet. Yeah, from X to A. And everything in between,
and breaking from it.
And the fuck it is to break, and that breaks the thingy, because they also, that's why they went around the world naming everything in Latin. Yeah, all the plants and everything else are all named in Latin. It's to take control of the plants. So they get the intention of the plants, and control the plants, control nature, and control the universe within it. Yeah, so it's quite deep, but it's true, because then plants connect to the planet. And then grow from the planet. So then they can control the planet, they control the universe, they control everything through the words, through Latin. So I've always said, Latin's such there's loads of different Latin out there, modern, this, that, and everything else. But why is Latin spelt in English?
The word.
So it is. I'll tell you, your brain is just wired, isn't it?
Yeah.
In a good way.
Quinine.
No, it was a bit more than quinine, but back in the day. But you know what I mean? Why is it spelled in English? Doesn't make sense. But it ties, the English that we taught in with that. But I do know, I mean, on our journeys, that English was an energy that it's a creator energy. English it's been taken. The word English is an energy, and it's I was all right. I thought somebody's coming to the boat.
Good bang.
Good bang.
The phone.
Oh my god.
The internet.
But
it must be Musty's head.
It must be Musty's head, or they get to the back of the boat. but of course, these people use all of this, plants and everything else, and we spoke about the plants last time, the energy of the plants, and you can be careful of it and be aware of it. Because people say to me, how do you stop this working? I says, it's by being aware of it.
Knowledge is power.
So I says, and the best way I can explain this is, everybody's had somebody in their life, 1 or 2 of them, that's a pain in the arse. And when you ever meet them, they know how to push your buttons. Yeah. And then they wire you up. Yeah. Right. So, and then all of a sudden you get a little bit of info and you think to yourself, do you know what? You go down that road again, I'm going to fucking let you have it. You never see that person ever again, do you?
No, it's true.
It's because the fact of you've armed yourself with that information, that person never comes anywhere near you then for you to unleash it. They're gone because they can sense it.
It's the energy.
It's the energy and the power, the knowledge of how it works.
Yeah. I've been protected by that my whole life, because very much I will get fucked. Fuck you then. I'll be nice to a point, and I'm a really peace-loving person, and I try to avoid conflict where I can. You know, maturity teaches you this as well, but I've always had that part of me where I'm just like, I don't care, and you can fuck right off.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't care. I just don't care. You get me to that point, I don't care. And I seem to have a lot of situations just don't blow up because people just end up coming back.
Yeah, because you've got the knowledge.
And it's not like you actually physically have to have that conversation with that person.
They're gone.
They just know.
They just know. They can sense it. And then you can see what sort of people who we are and the energies that we have had stolen from us, and by taking control of that, the power is unbelievable, because these people just don't come anywhere near your life, and they're fucking gone.
Wow.
And then I used to always say to people, when they used to come around the house at weekends, I used to say to people, like, people have problems in their life, but the ones that you stick up for, or go, no, they wouldn't do that. Oh, I'll go, but what justification have you got for saying that?
Yeah.
And they go, well, none. I said, so all the people in your life that you stick up for, yeah, with no justification why, they're usually the ones causing the fucking problem.
That's so true.
And their energy, yeah, puts it on top of you. And then because your energy then sticks up for these people, and then makes these stories up why they wouldn't do this and why they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And they're the ones, 99% of the chance, they're the ones that are the fucking problem. So
just
beware.
Sucking the energy out. Yeah,
because you're making stories up.
Under the guise of I'm being a good person and life's rotten. And that's true for some people, but I have 2 situations in my life right now, one family, one close friend, and that's exactly it. I never added 2 and 2 together. Because you always think, when you're sticking up for someone, it's more about you. You're just going, well, I want to be fair and just, and I want to give people a chance. But that's so true. When you're sticking up for them, you can't be. I used to say, oh, I'm a good judge of character. And then quite young in the piece, I learned, no, I'm not. Because people say one thing and then they fucking do another. And just when you think you know, they're not. They're not at all.
They're not.
Just, no.
So anybody gets any problems, anybody gets problems in their life or whatever, take it back to the people that you've stood up for, yeah, and with no justification, it's a good chance that they're the ones that have been causing the problem. And, then I used to say to people, well, how can you use that? I said, you use what, why, and who. And they're like, what do you mean by that? I said, so think of a problem. So if you think of a problem that you can never get to the problem of, yeah. So there's always a problem. You can never get to the end of the problem of who or what, yeah. So basically, once you take emotion out of the story, so it's what was it about, who and why, yeah, you get your answer. As quick as that. So you just literally think of what the problem was. It's what was it about, who and why, and bang, and you get your answer. It is because you took emotion out of the story.
Makes total sense. That does.
Because we
just look at the facts.
Yeah. So anybody has ever wondered about what, why, and who? No emotion. What and why and who, and write it down, and then bang, you get your answer.
Don't think about the answer. Just quick. The first thing that comes to mind.
Because the first thing you do, you go, well, and then you're off. You're off into your and you're like. Down another road. So it's literally what, why, who, bang, 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 and you get your answer because you're taking emotion. Because when people hurt you, you get this gut feeling of like, I wouldn't do that to you, but you've done that to me. But they don't feel like that. They don't care. They don't have that. And I used to say to you, didn't I? To find out who you are is by finding out who you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, so once you find out who you're not.
There's a lot of discipline. There's a lot of mental discipline required for this too, for anybody watching. They take a bit of learning, right? You can be conscious of something. And this is part of learning, is to have the discipline to get it wrong or to fuck it up or forget or not use it, and then but keep staying there going, well, I will, I'm gonna learn this, I'm gonna teach myself to do it. Because that's the fork in the road, that's where the learning is, that's where the difficulty is. It's not in the big dramatic things, it's just in, being able to say, look, I didn't remember this time, I'm going to keep sticking with this though.
Yeah, when you're wrong, I said to you,
discipline.
Yeah. Blokes are really good at admitting they're wrong and fucked up. We're making something, we cut something, we go, fuck that up, fucking hell. But the female, like I said to you, don't like admitting you're wrong because you feel like you let yourself down.
Yeah, you fail. Like the failure is such a terrible thing to have.
To have. I said, you don't fuck up. It's like, fuck that up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where blokes are really good at, we fuck someone and go, wow, that's right, fuck up. But where you never really hear that from women. You know what I mean? You're like,
that's part of the female brain thinks differently from the start. We know that. Epigenetics shows us that. But also men have that beautiful ability to go to what they call the nothing box. Have you seen that video? That
Well, we
No.
had the nothing, didn't we?
Wolf. Look it up, go on YouTube, and it's just called Men in the Nothing Box. It's a guy on stage, he looks like a professor, and there's a head, like a bust head, and he's just talking about men's brains and women's brains. But when it was put, it's the first time I've heard it outside of epigenetic conversations, and it's men's brains have this ability to go to what he calls the nothing box. Now, when it's a bloke, when you're out, you're doing something, you're watering the yard, you're just standing there, you're in your nothing box. You're flicking through telly, you know, with your remote control, you're in your nothing box. You can actually think of nothing. And this is where men, if you go back to like cavemen days, whether we ever were cavemen, I don't know, right? But men used to have to sit for fucking hours and days on the plane, you know, waiting for the tiger or the whatever they're going to do. So they have to have the ability.
Like, look at the fucking size of that.
Turn off and be able to jump up in a flash and go, well, fuck, there's my prey, I've got to go get it. Whereas women, our brains function differently. We function, I see it as like a cycling thing. We're constantly thinking, rethinking, rejigging. Where's the kids? Where's the dogs?
What the fuck are them men up to? Where's the food?
The brain functions differently. We have the capacity to just like of a day, say you might get your kids right and you go, okay, I'm going to pick up Johnny from school and then I'll pick up little Jenny from, you know, dancing, and then I'm going to go and get to the, you know, butchers and get whatever. For women, we constantly cycle, and somewhere through the day, someone might say, hey, look, I can pick up Jenny from dancing for you. So women's brains just keep swirling and changing and go, rightio, okay, Jenny's getting picked up, I can now do this. We multitask on a cycle. That's why some men go, oh, make your mind up, you women are always changing your mind. And it's like, yeah, thank God for that. You'd all be fucked if we didn't. So
it's like you go looking for something and we go around every shop. Yeah, and then we go back to the first one and buy that one. You're like, what the fuck? Every shop we go, should we go back to the first one? I'm like, oh my God. No, I used to call it shop flop. You know when you get dragged around, but you like by the time the men are like, I've had it, I'm done. You're like, oh my God, I can't function anymore. Shop flop.
You should do that on t-shirts, you know.
Got shop flop.
Shopping. It's all their bags. You're doing shop flop. That's funny. I'm going to write it down. I'm going to do some artwork later. Shop flop.
Do it.
What, shop flop?
Amazing.
Yeah, shop flop.
Yeah.
Like that.
I love it. I'll do that.
So anyway, that letter, you can also use that as an open letter as well. Yeah. So you do exactly the same thing. You know, as in dear, your name. I know. So you do the top bit, basically. Leave the letter open.
Yeah, dear Lucy, I know what I know. You know what you know, and then you can put your manifestation in there.
Yeah. Put what you want to manifest. Not like I want a Ferrari. I want this. I want, you know, where you want to be and
yeah, it's got to be reasonable, isn't it?
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. But you put down where you know everything in there that you want to manifest and where you want to be in life and what you want to achieve.
And then fuck it all, and then your name, and then big cross.
Then fold it up.
Yeah, fold these up, stick them in a drawer somewhere, just forget about them.
And then forget about them. And then every now and again, dig it, you know, when you think, oh my God, I wrote that down, and then take it out the drawer and go tick them off as thingy. So, and then we'll have a chat in 6 months' time to see how much of that has come true. And it's all individual for each individual person, you know, because it's an individual thing. You know, and then nobody's, you know, you're not going to somebody and they're telling you what's going to happen in the next in your future and this and that, because you're surrendering yourself to somebody else telling you again of their intention. You know what I mean, of what they want. You know, like don't get me wrong, there is some really good psychics out there, but there's also some charlatans. And if
you don't truly know what somebody's intentions are.
Are.
So it's best to keep the power to yourself and
teach yourself with it.
Yeah.
And hold on that and stick it in your own drawer and take.
I learned that everyone's capable of that. Everyone's capable of
take control of your own psychic abilities.
Isn't it a little bit like it's like Louise Hay says? I don't know if you know Louise Hay. You know that You Can Heal Your Life book, where she talks about you have a manifestation, you ask for something, like I want or whatever. But we have a habit of keep bringing it back and checking that idea. Like, oh, is it going to happen? I should reaffirm it again. Oh, fuck, I didn't think about it today. Do I need to think about it again? Should I pray to, Buddha? And she likens that to like giving your order to a waiter and going, I want steak or whatever. And the waiter goes off and he hasn't even made it to the kitchen yet. And you call him back and say, hey, come back. Did you get my order properly? It is steak, right? I did say steak and chips. You did write that down. And he says, yes. Like he's the universe, right? If you're going to look at the representations. And each time he keeps getting closer to the kitchen, you keep pulling him back. So you never allow the manifestation to actually get to the cooking point where it can go.
Yeah.
So then the fuck it letter basically helps you just let the fuck go. So the universe can
break it. Breaks that bond.
Get it away.
And then put it in your drawer. Fold it up and put it away.
Right.
Yeah. And
could you burn it? Could you burn it as well?
No.
Set the intention up.
You can do, but just literally for me,
try it.
Try it. You could do 2. You could put 1 in your drawer, and you could try that as well.
Well, I know the burning thing. I'm right there with you because I did think about burning. Because remember the Dear God letters back in the 40 years ago, 30 years ago, it was really big. All the Americans, the big power talkers were all talking about do a Dear God letter, but then you burn it, right? Which is basically absolving yourself of things, I guess. It's in a way like going into church and doing, what do, dear
confession, isn't it? Yeah.
You can tell I go to church.
I've never heard of that.
I had to do it because I went to a Catholic school, but I'm not Catholic.
Yeah, you see, a lot of the trees will absorb that carbon into the tree, so you're absorbing that print into nature.
But isn't this part of you? Once you've done this, it's more like a spell.
For you.
A spell. So you don't really want to throw it away. You wouldn't want to destroy it, would you? I'm thinking when you said put it in the drawer. First, I thought, we don't want to get rid, and then I thought, no, it's not a purging letter. It's a fuck it.
Yeah.
Here, you often just do it.
I know what I know, and I'm leaving it to the universe to deal with it. And I'm trusting the universe to deal. I mean, on our journeys with the energies, I'm like, it's time to trust the energies around us. You know what I mean? Because and like, whoa. And there's another thing. When we used to download different energies and stuff, we used to always have to sit like this with our hands up. Yeah. And the energy used to download through our fingertips down this way and then come in. So when we used to sit there in the lounge, and the energy used to come down onto our fingertips, and we'd download and then slowly come into hands. We used to sit there like that, the energy downloading the fingertips. So you can see how this closes that off, because you're closing your fingers and closes your fucking hands. Yeah. So we used to sit like this with our hands up,
the palms
facing you. And it used to download through her fingertips, and we should just sit there, the energy draining down, it used to come down her arms and through us and down into her feet. So you can see how that's been converted to that.
Yeah, closing your fingers
about this too. Or,
So try it. Just try it for a week to see if it makes any difference by sitting like this and download the energy through your fingertips. Facing
or if you meditate, try it like that.
Try it like that.
Because I always find the hand thing a bit difficult, and it doesn't flow for me. I've tried meditating, doing
that's closing off, isn't it? That's closing some off. But we used to have to sit like that, and then facing us, and the energy used to, because we see and feel energy like it's a physical thing. You know what I mean? It's like heavy. You know what I mean? It's like a big piece of like molten glass. You know what I mean? It's like oosh, isn't it? Or ice. It's like it's like a physical thing. And
you can actually feel the weight of it.
You feel the weight.
You can build an energy ball, can't you?
Yeah.
And
just
like eventually
like an energy ball.
Go out where it fills with the energy, and it feels really. You can feel it dense, and you can see colours and shapes.
This is like that.
And make it
I
hard.
used to walk around the house at the beginning. Once the energy started coming to me, I used to put it in a saucepan. I used to walk around the house. I got a pan full of energy. I don't know what to do with it. You know, I was son, pass the duchy to the left hand side, and I used to carry it around in a bowl. I don't know what to do with it. And then people used to come around the house. So I used to get like plastic, like your shopping bag, and I used to put it in there. And then tie it up like a balloon, and then people sit in a taxi driving off, waving bye bye with an energy in this plastic bag, and just driving off.
And a paddling pool.
And the paddling pool.
We used to have a paddling pool blown up in our lounge, obviously with no water in it. And you used to fill it full of nice warm energy.
Yeah.
And it used to literally feel like you were sat in a bath.
In a bath. And then people go, it's getting a bit cold. I'm going to get some more warm water of energy. And we just pour it in. And like as a kid, and I go, that's a lot better. Thanks. Yeah, it's full. It's full of energy, like a warm energy. And people were all sitting in it, weren't it?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, that's better.
That's even what we can't see. There was probably very real stuff. You were pouring real stuff because we can only see X amount of the spectrum and we can only hear X amount of the spectrum. And you guys are well and truly pushing the spectrum.
Yeah.
So you're seeing and intuiting and doing stuff in a really organic manner, I might add. That's what's really attractive about you pair as well. Pardon me, is it's not in a contrived manner. It's not like you fell into it willingly, but with a real sense of childlike like Juicy, you
it is.
In you,
that's
a real you have, and I think that's why you can channel it and you express it well, because you don't go, well, I want to give you a name and I want to know how much energy I'm having and what is it going to do for me and make me powerful.
It's like when people are going about harvest energy, well, where do you store it? Because the energy we deal with it, we do what we do and it's gone. I'm like, where's that gone? It's like it has its own mind. It's a living thing. So when it's loading in, every little bit as it's loading in will load to a certain point, and it's got its own.
They've all got like little jobs to do. And
it does its own thing.
It's not like telling energies what to do.
No,
that's not how it works.
No,
I've got a question for you guys on here. It says. No, it doesn't. It's really not. I'll read the whole thing now. It's from Donna J. It says she loves you too. Feels like she's been rewound. Hang on a minute. She feels like I rewound 2020. So glad you are doing this by yourselves. It's much better. Juicy, can you tell us anything about the quantum? Has it changed?
Ooh. Yeah. Well, see, the quantum that we deal with, we may just use it as a talk piece because it's what's in your head. But a quantum or the quantum language is an individual energy. So like all the universe is made out of different quantums. Yeah. So literally, it's like an energy. It's like I'll have to draw it and send it. It's like a circle with. I'm not sending that fucking drawing. You fuck off. You pull up that. No way. You pull that.
Put it up. Go on.
Juicy, aged 4 3/4.
Embryo.
Honestly, our drawing is so boring.
Yeah. I can put records together and everything else, but I can't draw. I'm shit at it.
That quantum one that you used with a circle and it was like that. That was good representation.
Yeah, but that is how the quantum looks.
Kind of like that round thing, like this. Yeah,
yes.
I'll do a quick rendition.
Go on, Tash.
That's why we always bring an artiste with us.
This would be really shit now. Just wait.
He's saying to Tash, do you want to come on one of our travels? She only lives just up the road. And she's like, I said, but we need an artist so we can go, draw that.
Quick, draw that. Quick.
I think I've done it in a bit of a wrong angle because I'm doing it off my head here. But
okay. Yes, something like that. Yeah.
It's more straight like that, isn't it?
It's more straight like that. Yeah. And it's more of a 9.
It's
more of a 9. Let's try again.
It's more of a 6 and a 9. And it does.
Oh yeah, got you.
Yeah.
So 9.
It almost looks a bit like a blade of a propeller, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it's two bits in it.
Not more like I've probably got the completely wrong shape now. Hang on. Ooh.
No.
You've got one bit.
Yeah.
It's like a 6 at the top and then a 9 at the bottom.
Yeah, but not too curly.
Not too curly.
Not too
That
curly.
Amy's is a bit too curly.
Oh, where's
But,
Amy's?
but
Oh, yeah.
nearly.
Draw it. We've got pen and paper.
I can't draw it.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it on there. You got it. It's in that book. Hold on. It's in the.
I've got to find it first.
Oh, there.
Oh, we found it. Are you ready for this?
That's it. Yeah.
Like that.
That's it. Yeah. Got it.
That's like that's what I see of it. And then all of them, that is all an energy, and within that is a consciousness, which is the circle bit in the middle. And there's a consciousness of that energy within that, and they all fit together on that circle. Now I don't know, that circle is where all the Akashic record. I seem to think when they all fit together, all them all fit together, and the bit in all them round bits, is that where the Akashic records? Is that what you open up, and that's where the consciousness is of the Akashic records in there as a quantum, as in quantum, as that name, as that word being pinched, like every other word that's been pinched.
Yeah, well, it's
another intention.
With another intention that's been bought, like ABC on number 1 on a phone that we didn't have.
That's so weird.
Do you see what I mean?
Isn't it?
I mean, Abracadabra as well. I mean, I picked it down to being a clock and a calendar, and then we went around a lot of charity shops and we found the 1930s Phrase and Fable. And when we opened that up, it said a little bit more, and he also said it's relevant to 365 days of the year. So I was like, woo! So it is a calendar and it is a clock. So I unpicked the actual.
But with recent versions of Phrase and Fable, they'd actually
took it out,
shortened the meaning of it,
because Phrase and Fable
certain bits out
is controlled by brewers. Brewers is all to do with the church, because obviously the brewers used to be the monks and monasteries and blah blah blah. So brewers' books goes into the church as well. It's all to link with that. And also, if you look on Phrase and Fable, it's rewritten by ex-reverends and everybody else. So it's controlled by the church.
And every version is done every 10 years. So if you look through the different versions, you can see they chop and change. What meanings? What meanings they put out there.
And that's why it's like that's why it's
you
called
always
brewers.
like to change
hide it.
To hide it.
Sounds just like George Orwell's 1984. I recently read that, and they did a thing called Newspeak. So they basically were gradually changing the language from what we know now into
hiding
something controlling, and then hiding it. Exactly.
Does it say about that?
Yeah.
I never watched that.
Yeah,
there's a video of a guy that an English fella who did it. Was just called The Vowel Shift, and he went into talking about how words were changed and how we said them was changed. You know, maybe the same word but with a instead of a op, and it was quite interesting, because it's like everything now, right? We're learning how much is bullshit and how much is just evil shit. That the masterfulness and the scheming of changing a language so that we sell ourselves into, you know, these fucked up comas in our brains, basically, which is where everybody's at, aren't they? Like, you only zombify yourself with the language. It's
And the thing is as well, if you want to invade a country, why go to war when all you got to do is change the language?
Yep, exactly.
No point. No. You go back 15th century, people went to war to put their language in to control the sort of like the people that wherever that country is, by putting their language over the top of their language and then controlling them through the spelling of the language and laws and everything else, and boom, 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 boom. Where now you can sneak it in by just changing the languages as we go along. We noticed that when some of the washing powders and stuff like years ago. It's like Jif and Sif. Jif used to be Jif. It's a washing powder or washing cleaning powder.
Yes.
Then also it was Sif.
Sif.
Changed the thing. Sif.
Yeah.
Why? And then you look at a lot of other words that they've changed, and they've just changed the word in Spain over. So you can see
Snickers. What was Snickers? You know, Snickers. What was it before? Marathon.
Yeah. It is. So you can see on products they changed the name of it. Why?
Yeah. What's April fruits? Starburst.
Yeah, but then you look at stuff too, they can just change it. It was like, was it Bonaparte, where he never went to war? You know, he never went to Russia and did all the bullshit he did. Yet they just insert all of this history and insert these word changes and put them in a history book. And everybody that goes to school, all the intellectuals, they gobble it all up. They love it. And then they're sprouting it off to everybody, telling everyone, you know, this is how it is. Or, you know, historians sometimes I find can be so arrogant because they think they fucking know it all. Oh, yes, I know this and I know that. And, you know, that looking down the nose business. And you just think all you are is just so fucking indoctrinated. You can't see it. And you become a snobby bore because the way you're speaking, energy is lying. Your energy is sucking the life out of things. Have you ever noticed that with some people?
Yeah. Well, all churches are all built on ley lines. See, and all churches face a certain way. So they're built north, south, east, and west. So you've got you know, I mean, I used to work on a lot of them. You know what I mean? So I know how they're built. And then obviously I'd be there on a Monday, so I could see how the energy flowed around them. And so you could see how the energy was punching through the church. Excuse me. Up through the spire and punching the energy out. You could see it punching through. So I'd be there.
Interesting. Sorry, I've got a comment on church spires. Literally, as you've saying that about churches, and they've put. It's interesting about the energy of your hands being up, and it's harnessed and the upright conductors taken in from the atmosphere, e.g., church spires.
Yeah.
It ties into what you're just saying.
They're built, obviously,
they were more like sucking the energy out of the earth, and into the atmosphere,
and booming it up and taking it out.
It's like siphoning it out,
draining it out of the land.
I thought some of them were, you know, like the big. Especially the shapes like the Tartarian stuff, that they brought ether in, they brought the energy in. Weren't churches healing centres? And then they
actually put them on ley lines. So they actually built them over the top of a ley line. A ley line is an energy line in the earth, natural one. So they built it over the top, and then drain the energy out of the land.
Right. So
they all align as well, don't they? Because I know where.
Yeah, they all face east and west as well. So you'll always get your towers always in the east, and then your chancels are in the west. So they're all built on the same business model. Yeah.
Oh, so you can actually, they're like a compass.
They're a compass. Yeah.
In any town, you can use. Well, maybe that was a practical thing to start off with.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them. Yeah, they used to have a sundial carved in the wall.
Yeah.
And then they have a sundial so they could see what time it was, and they used to carve it on the wall so they could see what time it was, because you got your south aisle, north aisle, and then you got east and your west for your towers and your chancel and everything else. So literally, they're actually built like a compass and then dropped badoosh on ley lines.
Well, you know where we live, guys, as in you two, where we live, the three churches up the top here, all line into a triangle, and they're all in alignment. I've got this whole book on it. I can't remember, but they're all in alignment, and they're all on ley lines. And I think three of them were in a particular triangle that then ended up making the Star of David somehow. It all like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I think myself. I mean, I've seen the energy coming out of these buildings, so I've seen it being pumped out, and it's almost like it's getting the ley lines, which used to come up through your feet and give you that natural energy and connection to the universe and the planet, and then pump it up and away, and bye. Make you ill because your natural energy is being drained out because you're not connecting with your feet anymore because it's being sucked up and out. I try to shut down as much as possible.
How do we change the churches back to what they were then, from your perspective?
Well, when I used to work on them, I used to try and shut them down and then shut the energy down, lock them down, to push the energy back into the ley lines.
Yeah.
Because I don't like churches. I've never liked the energy.
No. Yeah. They were usually built over a sacred whatever. So if you dug deep enough underneath them, there'd be something sacred going back a long time. And they dug it over the top of it, and bang, to quash it and take the power of it.
Yeah, they did a lot of that on the planet.
Yeah. So basically, if they probably even destroyed what was underneath it originally. You know what I mean? And then built these things over the top.
I think it's part of when you crush something, and you got to think on the terms of evil. they love to feel what they've crushed under their foot. I mean, you think anyone who's a warmonger or anyone who's a horrible person, they always got to keep seeing it. They want that feed from it. So
you got the gargoyles.
It's the destruction and then the takeover.
And then you got the gargoyles as a symbol of all the, the water spouts. They've got all the gargoyles and stuff, which is all evil and everything else. It's like, well, what the fuck's that about?
Yeah.
But I think a lot of it, they probably just took the stone and incorporated the stone into the building.
But also it's a visual representation. We look at it, and movies have primed us, and fairy tale books, with this sort of stuff that sort of thing is an omen, that a gargoyle is something to fear, something that can jump on you. Because let's face it, church is all about fear and guilt. Yeah. So I guess
and also they use where the water comes out as well, spouts water out. So it looks like it's got, they do it for where the water comes off the roof. So obviously you got this water pouring out of the mouths and everything. It's symbolic of all of that as well. You're like spitting out all over you. And if you're walking underneath it, back in the day, it'd be pouring all over you, coming out of all these monsters' mouths. Not so much of a blessing, that one, I would have thought.
No. But then if you're tricked into thinking it is, how many people were not connected to a sense of self, so they didn't self-intuit? They didn't stop and think, well, what am I feeling?
Yeah.
Like they just would have had that horror and probably thought, I'm such a bad person, I need to get in that church. What my sins, I'm such an awful thing, when all they were doing was being a beautiful citizen walking in and having that shit spew on.
Yeah, it's all to do with control as well, because before that it was just like a hamlet or village, then the church comes along, bang, and then it becomes a parish, and then you got parish council, you got and on it goes to,
it's all control.
To all control. And if you're not part of that parish, you got to be part of another parish, and you got to come in. That's why all fonts are at the back of the church, because that's the start of your journey. And that's why I usually find fonts at the back of the church, because that's the start of your journey.
Being born
into it. So you come in the door, the fonts at the back, the splash water all over you, and then you start working your way up to the to the front of the church, where you've got the stained glass windows, which if you read from the bottom upwards, it tells you the story of the Bible and everything else, until you've got your bread and your wine, and you're in the church, and then you're in the parish, and then you're in the council, and then you're in this. Then you're it puts you into that parish. So in that parish, then you're part of the council, then you're part of this, to where we are now, basically.
Because there's also, isn't there an energy? Was it you that spoke about it? The energy in the stained glass? Was it you that was
I never said. I presume there is, but because obviously the sunlight comes. I've never obviously got colours and symbols coming through it anyway.
Sinister shit in it.
Yeah. But that was start of the control, and then you get married in there. You see, so you're married, and you signed in. And then you're part of the parish thingy, and part of the community and everything else, to where we've got cities and everything else, and everybody's tied in. But it's just started off as simple. You go back to basics. It starts off as simple as that. Being bought in parish.
So you get christened at the back, you get married in the middle, and then you have your funeral right at the other end.
Yeah, all the way through and out.
Yeah.
You go through
and because that faces east, so that faces east, because it's the sun. As the sun rises, and usually the tower's in the west at the back as it sets, and goes over the top. So it controls your whole life. But of course, then you got churches now where they're all more, they're all redundant. You know what I mean? And that was the way of also policing the state, through the fear of God and fear of this and the fear of that. Yeah.
And the first set of rules.
And the first set of rules, which was 666, you see. So now if you then go, now that's all gone, so now the police have got 10 commandments now. If you look at the thing, the police work under 10 commandments. So now we've gone from being controlled with the 666 to the 10 commandments of what the police have to do within their community, which is the same thing. So now it's a police state, but now it's 999, not 666. So you can see how you got the switcheroo. It's exactly the same.
To let you realize that there really are the endocrine things. Well, don't you think it's weird that you ate of the flesh and drank of the blood? We're indoctrinated to do that. And nobody
You'll
ever
wear
thought
black as well.
fine. They just think it's completely fine. And I'm like,
I think it's a metaphor. So everyone
Mm.
is thinks
Yeah,
everything's a
that's what
metaphor.
they
Yeah.
Yeah. And you
It's
see,
not.
you look at what they wear.
Trying to normalise it.
They wear black and they wear white collars and everything, and then you go to court and wear the same colours, and the police wear the same colours as them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
police by all.
Yeah. So you can see how it's gone from being ruled by the fear of God and everything else to now police state using the same commandments. I think it's in
Fable.
Yeah, I think it's in Phase and Fable. It was on about the 11th commandment, apparently. And that was thou shalt tell nobody about this. The 11th commandment.
Real?
Thou shalt tell nobody about this. The 11th commandment.
I would love to have episodes.
So I don't know what that means, but it's in Phase and Fable. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
It is. It's in Phase and Fable. And you
You
look at
think
the commandments in Phase and it literally says 11th commandment, thou shalt tell nobody about this. So
That must be left for the priests, right?
yeah.
Yeah, the criminals. Thou shalt not tell anyone about my crimes.
Yeah. And then you got all your Masonic lodges, you got all this and you got all that. It's all the same because they worship the sun, don't they?
Yep.
Yeah. They have big sun festivals and stuff like that and blah blah blah, and it's all part of it. You know what I mean? So
it's all the one
same
authority thing, you know. We've just been indoctrinated to respect and to revere authority in any manner, and all that happens with police, government, religion. It doesn't really matter. They all come under the guise of authority.
Yeah.
So just because they wear a different uniform or a different party outfit, you know, police officer, judge, whatever, it's the same thing all the time. You look at anyone with any power to push the fear and
Black
guilt.
and white. Mostly black and just a little white.
And they all thrive on it as well.
Authority. Because we want to be good people. Humans are good people at heart, right? No, we don't want to harm another. We don't want to create a drama, right? So we take we try to make it with the less hassle. But when you're really pushed upon and pushed upon and pushed upon and pushed upon, and they just keep going and going and going, that's why we see the division. There's people like ourselves, which are stronger, which we're all sitting here sharing and talking, or you become a sheeple and you just bow your head and you just go, fuck it, I'm just going to have to deal with this. And all right, yes, okay, to the powers, you know? And this is where the big divide is now, because what we're realizing is authority is a big fucking joke. A big fucking joke. All of it.
It is.
I swear blind, they're a different species to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Me too.
Swear blind.
Because
swear blind. And I tell you why. Most policemen have got their foreheads are a lot thicker here at the front. It's sort of, they come out like that. Yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
Well, like attracts like, right? So that's in action. So I'm assuming that all negative, well, you can't be with something that you're not, right? So you can't, it's like two radio stations. They're just different. They can't play. We
wouldn't be allowed to take that job because we won't fit in. Even if you think I'm going to be that, they'll go, we're not having them. No fucking way. You're not in because you don't fit. It's like horses for courses. Yeah, you don't put a jumper on a flat or vice versa. Yeah, and literally, they won't have us anywhere near them at all.
Like magnets, you know, it's different ways. Yeah. Sometimes they attract, sometimes they repel. And I think we're getting to a point. Now, you spoke in one of the abracadabras, I've only gotten to part 3, about the universe exhausting all negative energies so that you can bring in the positive. So I think what's happening now is this division is nearly like getting to the end of the toothpaste tube and you got to like run your toothbrush along it to just get that last bit out.
Yeah.
Because people like us can't help but come together and speak this way, I think, because we're here to do this. We're born to do. Like, do you know what? Since 2020
we know we were born now. We know that.
Exactly. My life has never, ever made more sense than it does now.
Yeah. I know. I wake up every day.
Exactly. why I didn't get on at school, why I like religion I never understood. I've always been a bit of, they would call me a troublemaker, or I talk too much, or too much of a, you know, an independent nature. And I just think, well, you know, I just lost my little train of thought then, because I just thought about myself when I was younger. I got into so much trouble just for being clever, and for not listening and not bowing to authority, because it wasn't in me to do that. We're all the same. We're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
It's like
the rebel gene.
Yeah.
I've got the rebel
I used to say to people at weekends about the Bible, so I always look for a nut and bolt of a story, or what don't quite make sense, or whatever. And the whole Bible thing, what contradicts itself is that, you know, he was born, Jesus was born, and then he died, and then he rose, and then he was reborn, and he walked the earth, and everything else. Yeah, but that's reincarnation. Yeah, but the church doesn't believe in reincarnation.
Yeah, we're not allowed to talk about
because the church can't believe in reincarnation, because then there's no such thing as heaven and hell, when it all fucks up.
Well,
so their own story fucks them up.
Yeah.
But I remember as a kid, they would say things like, there's the Holy Spirit, but those spirits, they're not real. Those aren't real. When you see aliens, they're not real. You know, entities. They are, there's demons, but that, you know, and every time you kind of knew. Why do you tell me it's not real like that?
Yes. Yeah. Well, they've taught you it's conditional thinking to go, well, the spirit is true, but aliens aren't, in your example. Or do you know what I mean? So that we can divide things by a fucking hair's breadth too, I might add, and sit on the fence and suddenly you got to believe this, but don't believe that. I mean, no wonder people are fucking uptight and worn out. Really difficult game.
It is though, isn't it?
And then they fucked everybody up so bad, because then this culture is this way and this culture is this way, and then this family's like this, and it's like, oh, we're so different, and they point that out. Remember when you're kids, they point out this person is this way, this family, stay away from them, they're no good.
Don't talk to them.
It's like a division. It's getting you ready for racism, for separatism.
Yeah.
And I remember in the 80s there were cliques, you know, we had the punkers and the skaters and the preppies and the cheerleaders, and you know, they all had their little cliques, and it's like, why wouldn't we all be just sitting around and sharing space together?
Well, that's separatism.
I don't care if you're pink, blue, whatever colour. Attitude. It's just what attitude you have. I don't care. Well, I don't care if you're pink or blue. As long as your attitude is the right attitude, it doesn't make any difference, does it?
Exactly.
But I mean, it's the understanding of this is what is becoming exhausting for people. You think about this. I love this analogy. Every thought you have, or every, imagine it's a ball and you're in water to here. And I give you a ball, it's this size, and this represents some untruth that you're trying to fathom with, like ETs don't exist, but the Holy Spirit does. Let's say that, or those people down the road are bad, yet these people next door are good. Now, all these, is it disparity? Is that the word I want? Imagine each one of these I give to you, and it's a secret or a misunderstanding or a doctrine that you have to obey authority, right? So each thing is a ball. Some are bigger than others. Some are a big lie. So you've got all these balls, and what I want you to do to keep a normal life and be accepted and look like a normal human is you have to keep every one of those balls under the water, but you must always look happy, happy, happy. So here's your first ball. So you like put it between your legs, and you get another one. You got a bigger one. You put that between your legs, and that you're starting to hide all of these beliefs that aren't congruent with you as a natural human, right? All of the shit we're taught as kids and all this division and fucking crap. So in the end, you're trying to hang on to all of these balls, different sizes that you've gotten at different times of your life. Like you get a little one this big, but you already got big ones you're hanging on to. In the end, it's like you look at humanity now. It's like people are up here with water. There's balls bobbing up left and right. And people's faces are so strained because they're trying to contain and keep down all of this shit. that they can't let up because society says if you let it up, you're wrong, you're bad, you're a loser, you're whatever. So
bingo that you can't make us peep about. You're not allowed your feelings. If you do, you're irrational. You may have mental issues. You're not allowed to get angry.
Yes.
People can get angry. You should be allowed to express yourself. Yes. Instead of people going, oh my God, what's wrong with them? Hello, they're having a bad moment. Get it, figure it out. Don't you have a bad moment? Allow.
Anger being made so disgusting because I naturally don't mind my anger as long as I don't break other people's things. Anger is something that has to come out, right? But if you're taught to stifle it, it's like keeping a shit in. You just can't do it. Let's go somewhere
like a light bulb.
and deal with it.
What, they look like a light bulb? Let the ball free.
Well, you imagine, see, we're the sort of people, we just jump out and go, fuck it, I'm not holding any of these balls. And everybody else doesn't like that, right? Because they're still there hanging onto their fucking balls under the water. Like,
why do we have to do this?
It is true. Yeah. We have like sort of weird days, weird head pains and neck pains and stuff, right? And we go, it must be a download. Everybody else is like, I'm dying. We're like, it's a download.
See, that's a really
upgrade.
It's not great.
Yeah, you're upgrade. Yeah, I feel really ill, but it's all good.
Yeah.
But teaching people how to intuit stuff in their natural environment, in the natural body, in ways like, okay, I'm angry, I'm sad, if I'm a bloke, I'm in my nothing box. This is difficult for a lot of people. That's why videos like this
I think that's why I struggle with the juice group.
Yeah.
Because I tell people to go on how they're feeling. People ask me time and time again, how much of this juice do I have? And I'm like, everybody is different. You have to go on how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the instant you say...
And that's your own intuition about yourself, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, how many grapefruit should I use compared to lemons? Go on what you fancy. If you fancy using 4 grapefruits and 3 lemons, go for it. Or if you want to use more water or less water,
go for it.
Go with the flow. Go for it.
And come back and share your knowledge. Yes, this is how we should.
And those things they were doing with it too. Yeah, good things they were using on their skin or something because they were getting psoriasis. Did you say that? They used it on that?
It was like she had an itch on her upper arm, and the doctors didn't really understand what it was or how
every
to
year
cure
for 3
it.
months, wasn't it?
But it was every season, every certain season. I can't remember if it was spring or autumn, but it used to reoccur.
You used to scratch it till it bleeds.
Yeah, she said it was really, really bad. And she's tried the juice as a topical ointment and it's cleared it up.
I read that it does clear it up. I read all that stuff that it clears that up. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I got that book, the Herbal Lost Remedies. I don't want to run and go get it. It's in my room right now, but it's amazing. Like it blows my mind, the stuff that is right in my own yard. I mean, like, I was always going to the herbal
tractors.
You know, because I didn't know what to really look for. Like I'd see pictures of like glance across the screen on Facebook or whatever, but I never realized where they were really indigenous at or whatever to get it. They just say what it looked like, what it does. But here I'm like seeing that I can get it right in my own yard, and there's this one that's like I think it was like on morphine, and you can make pain medicine out of it. And if you don't want it to, like, if it'll go bad after you cook it up, if you don't like dehydrate it, so you can make it in a powder. That way you can put it in a capsule. And then you have a natural pain reliever. I mean, there's just so much stuff in there. It blew my mind, and I mean. Anything you cure, like all the way up to cancer. I mean, like, and quinine was in there.
Was it?
Yep.
Wicked.
Yes.
Wicked.
I'm like, yeah, and so these people can quit running around that, cutting it down. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't have it. And I still put on rubber gloves because I love my husband because I believe it. I know in it. Of course, I remember my father doing it, but older people know these things, and it's an old remedy. And like, what the heck? What if you
burn the witch? Burn the witch.
Digressing.
If you said that, if that on you, I'm witch burn.
Digressing. I've got a comment. I've got a comment for you here.
Yeah.
It's quite a funny one. He's going back to like how you can't make this stuff up, right? He's Jay Williams has written. Regarding the fuel shortage UK, the BBC reporter was called Phil McCann. You can't make this shit up. There you go. Perfect example of this batshit crazy world.
Yeah. And here again, right, there
We're
wasn't a problem, but now there is. So they do it on purpose. They create a problem, all because there wasn't a problem. They created the problem. Yeah. I mean, we didn't even know about it until somebody was.
Somebody in the boatyard told us.
Tell
us. We don't watch TV.
We don't watch TV. What you on? What shortage? Like, there's some driver shortage.
I know. I don't understand either because I don't like everybody's like, did you hear about this? No.
But here we go. They created a problem. Instead of wait for the problem to arise and then deal with it. Don't create a problem before it happens. Yeah, before it happens.
Yeah.
It's just the next step of the game, though, isn't it? That we're all participating in or not.
Yeah, we've done toilet paper, so now we're going to do film.
Yeah.
But it's a collective consciousness. I mean, they know, you know, that thing like where we create, right? We co-create with skills. That they want enough of us in to create the problem. That's why when you're not watching telly, you're not part of their bullshit.
No. And I think,
really
it's probably another tester to see how submissive you still are. You know, you had this little bit of freedom, so then they spin this problem out and to see what it
see what outcome.
See what the outcome comes to see. Make sure.
How many people actually go and stupidly queue at a petrol garage? For no reason.
For no reason whatsoever. Just to see how submissive you still are.
Do a head count on the ones that are still abiding by the rules.
Idiot.
Fucking idiot.
Yeah, because let's face it, everybody in power filled all their cars up. Right now, let's put that out to the press. The press put it out there, and then they would sit back and watch the chaos and see how submissive.
They watch us build it. They watch us build it. It's like a kit from IKEA.
Yeah.
And the media give it to us. And then everybody unwraps it in their home, which is their television, and then they build this fucking monstrosity. I mean, look now at the stupid COVID crap. You talk with people and all they can talk about is just the topics they've been fed. No one can seem to have...
Did you sneeze and cough?
Outside of it.
Really?
I know.
Like, we've been sneezing and coughing for God knows how long, yeah? Now it's been weaponised. Like, you can try it when you walk down the street and you just go, you never look down.
I know. Everyone looks around now.
Honestly, you walk down the street and the people have got the mask off it now, and you go, and they're like,
it's like, stay back.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Imagine being a cannabis smoker. And it does coughs come when you least expect it, and it's always when you're in this store and people are like,
"Yeah,
you
feel it, build it." I swear, there's it on purpose.
It's a weird cough.
You stand there and think, "No," and you still feel that tickle. You think, "Oh, you bastard! It's going. I'm gonna have to fucking do it now." And you end up fucking like blood in the face.
Choking on nothing.
But when you don't wear masks, because I don't wear a mask.
No, we don't.
No.
And you even just people do that.
Yeah.
And I think it's only your fear. It's got nothing to do with me. It's got fuck all to do with me, actually. It's your fear.
Yeah.
And I'll
tell you what,
I used to feel really sad for them, and now I just think it's not about that. I can't hop in and put in any emotion because, one, they're backdrop people, but two, nothing I can do and say at all.
Not wasting time.
Go in with the bullshit conversation and hop in the eddy of dramas that they love. And if you won't get into them, you're the enemy.
And these people are listening, because when we used to go out, we'd be sitting there in something to eat or whatever, and I want to know. We want to know who's listening to our conversation. So I used to look at you and say, I'm having a panic attack, babes. I'm getting feeling paranoid and fucking blah, blah. Everybody would just stand and look at you. So you're all fucking earwigging. Yeah, try it. You go out with them like that. You go out for have something to eat, sitting there and wherever, and just one of you just go, I'm having a panic attack, and I don't fucking blah blah, and I'm fucking paranoid, fucking everything else. And literally, it's amazing how many people go whoop, and they go, they're all fucking earwigging.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Yeah. We got a serious earwigging, and then just like, babes, I'll be like, I'm having a panic attack and I feel paranoid to fucking blah blah. And literally half the place look around staring at you, fucking bored to death. You're all listening to our fucking conversation.
Yeah.
Because we've got nothing else to listen to.
They're drawn to the energy, right? People are drawn to the truth. End of story. They want the truth, whether they're mind fucked by the media or not. There's an element in everybody. Some of them it's dulled right down to a tiny little bit, but they all want to be around a positive energy because it's what makes us function. So they can't help but plug in, right? Don't you notice when you walk anywhere, people stare at you? I'll be driving along and people just will reel around and look at me, like it's nearly like a part of them unconsciously is connected or looking to you. So I think people like this group here and everybody watching, it's to be more conscious of that too, so that when we know people are
what's around you, and that is a really good test.
I just let out like this big burst. I imagine it's like lots of really pretty hearts flying out and just smashing into everybody.
Yeah,
like I think if you really want a good energy, I'll give you a good energy. Here it comes.
Love bubbles. Love bubbles. when I've been dealing with the energies and the energy guys and stuff, and they used to pack. I used to get bubbles come through the wall, through the patio doors, big bubbles of energy, and they used to call them love bubbles to say thank you, and then they used to land on you. Big bubbles of love bubbles, weren't they? Oh, at first I'm like, what the fuck's that? But there was love bubbles to say thank you. So all the energies and stuff used to pass these bubbles through to us. And one day, a massive one come through the patio, didn't it? Yeah. A massive love bubble. It was massive. I'm like, what the hell was that? And there's this big, massive love bubble coming, didn't it? It went pop. They used to land on your fingertips. So you go pop, 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 pop. The love bubbles, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to incorporating this.
Try it for a week.
Yeah. Fingers open.
I used to say to people, like that. Yeah. I always say to people, try something different for a week to see if it works. I say to people, you've tried all these things for years and you're still in the same place. So try something different for a week and then see if it makes any difference. What difference it makes? This is why people will take the watches off.
Try something different that you haven't been. When I started to lose the weight, I was like, well, I knew I ate way too much meat. I loved meat. Yeah. I'm like, try it the other way. See how it goes. See if. And I just stuck with it because I knew I started feeling better and everything. And I don't not completely eat meat at all. I mean, I still eat fish. I still eat seafood, like shrimp, crab. I'll eat chicken or turkey. I don't eat it all the time. I may only eat it like twice a week. But
even our white meat is red because it's covered in tandoori because we love Indians. Oh, fuck it up.
Yeah, and I'm fine. I've been doing this for a while. Quiet puppies. I have puppies. They've been noisy all night. If you notice, I've been muting myself. I got these. They went out of the playpen, and I'm like, quiet. And I'm over here checking down.
So I'm trying to get into a new pack of tobacco. Trying to be sneaky.
Trying to be quiet.
like being in the pictures with that noisy person opening the twist.
Just go for it, don't you? Just go for it.
Yeah, the more quiet you try and be, usually the noisier
you are. Yeah, when you try and sneak in being quiet, fucking hell, it's a racket,
exactly. Because what do you think? Bother. It's because you're thinking to yourself, I don't want it to be loud. So the universe only hears, I want it to be loud because the universe doesn't understand. Don't. So it says,
pack of crisps, bang, bang, pop, pop. Yeah, fucking hell, where the fuck have they come from? Innit? Fucking everywhere.
Get what you asked for, right?
Don't remember nothing. Oh my god.
It is funny though, isn't it? The more quiet you are, the more fucking. You might as well just go in there and go right. You know what I mean? One man band.
It's about owning your space, right? Owning your moment. I'm going to be noisy. I'm going to be noisy, right?
That was another word. That was another word that kept coming up on the weekends, wasn't it? In it. I don't know what it means. I know we
haven't even heard who to say it.
We haven't heard who to say in it. Like, it sounds just like us, innit?
I know, and you can play it in Scrabble now, in it.
Really?
Word. Yeah.
You see,
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
In the dictionary, I don't know. I don't have
That's weird. That's weird because one weekend everything was in it, but it kept laughing because we kept saying
could
in
not
it.
stop saying in it.
In it. And literally the whole journey was in it, wasn't it? Like fucking hell. On about like keep coming out as one word in it.
Yeah, that was.
You were birthing a common word. Right,
so we've done the letter.
Where are we?
Now it's how. I'll have a fag first. It's how to swap your hands over. Yeah.
Yay!
Right. So a quick one going back to the watches. When we rewind, when people want to take the watches off. Now, remember the old watches because they sit tight to your skin, and these have because they've got the second hand in there. It's a tick tock, and they make a noise because the balancing arm inside them. Yeah, well that's a frequency. But your body picks up on that frequency. So, like if you play fast music, you want to dance. If you play slow music, you want to thingy. So the old watches, because of that tick tock rotation, that sound frequency keeps you locked into time. Because it's a frequency. That's why when people used to come out the weekend and felt tired, I said, take your watches off. And a lot of people would not take their watches off to the point of they used to run away and go home instead of take the watches off. There's that.
Oh, because it's their heartbeat. They think it's.
Yeah, that's empowered. Or make excuses. I can't take it off because it was bought for this and it's bought for that. It's bought by a member of my family. I can't take it off. It's like I'm like, you should be
asking you to throw it away.
That was me.
I'm not. Next week I'll ask you to smash it with an hammer, but this week just take it off.
that was me. I used to wear a watch all the time, and like you, I'd make all the excuses. And then one day I was sick of time, and I was aware that it's an illusion, and it was driving me insane to the point I couldn't handle it anymore. I took my watch off. I've never worn one since for about 8 years, and I've felt freer from time, just like that. That's
and it's
amazing.
You said
that.
Yeah, it's a biorhythm. Tick, tick, tick,
right on your skin.
Right on your skin, and it's tight.
I've never been. My husband either. We can't wear watches. Every time they put one on, they quit. They quit working. They don't want to run.
Yeah, the break. That's another story, but yeah, they break.
Yeah, they break all the time.
Yeah, because it's a biorhythm. You see, and a second is measured between A and B. Is a constant. It's distance between A and B for a second. So you can measure a second in distance. Because a minute, an hour. So you can measure the distance, and then it gives you the distance of a day, because that relates to time. So I used to always say to you, you'd sit there waiting for the kettle to boil, you'd be fucking knackered by the end of it, because how much distance. You'd be like sitting there waiting for something like a kettle or something to fucking boil, right? And by the end of it, you're fucking worn out. You know what I mean? Because you're standing there and you're traveling through time at the same time and space.
And that distance.
You're covering that amount of distance.
Oh, this is the equivalent of why sometimes things run slow. You know, people go, but when I was really happy, the time went slower or faster, or, you know, when I was doing whatever, the time was going different.
Yeah.
This commitment to either a boring task or like going to work. Some people don't want to go to work, like you said, Juicy, where it just the whole day is so long and you come.
Oh my God, isn't it?
Exhausted. Yeah.
Exhausted because you're traveling, because you're there. You don't really want to be there. You're not supposed to be there because there's other things to do.
Yeah, it's not a natural.
And you're covering that amount of time and distance because it can be equated into distance. That's why and
that's why people age and all the rest of it, isn't it?
Yeah, because you've got that force on you. So if you're standing there and you're traveling through. That's where I swear it's where all the wrinkles come from, because it's that amount of pressure that you're traveling through space all the time. You're traveling through, that force is on you.
It's interesting you talk about aging and this thinking. I mean, I've always believed, what you think is who you are, right? I mean, people with multiple problems, you can see it, they furrow down, they get darker, they get smaller.
Well, we cut all calendars out of our life. We don't have birthdays. Yeah.
We don't do birthdays, anniversaries, Christmas, none of it.
None of it. Because of the fact of it's all a point of reference in time. So because if we wanted to buy something, we buy it whenever we buy it. We don't celebrate Christmas as Christmas thing. We celebrate Christmas as it's time to party, because it's time off work and it's time to have to ourselves.
You put up decorations?
No.
We've got fairy lights. We have them up all year round.
We have them all year round. Yeah. So we just cut. We just cut as much of the calendar out of our lives as possible.
Right.
Because
it's all corporate.
It's all corporate.
It's all. You got to go and buy birthday cards. You got to go and buy Christmas cards. You got to go and buy Christmas turkey.
It's an anniversary card.
It's all corporate driven, isn't it?
Yeah, I can never understand where anniversary is a good thing and also a bad thing. It should be a different name. So you have an anniversary of a war. You have an anniversary of a marriage. Yeah. So that word anniversary covers bad and good.
What does the word mean? What what's that Face and Fable book you've got?
Do you know what? I've not looked, but we'll look at that. We'll have a look into that.
Interesting.
It's two words that are used to celebrate a nasty experience and a good experience, and it shouldn't be. But maybe we should look into that.
Yeah, maybe
why that is.
Yeah,
adversary. Anniversary.
Anniversary is the reverse as well, isn't it?
That's also a song or a
verse.
Oh, verse.
Words in music.
Yeah, anniversary. Yeah, verse.
Versary. Versary. Yeah, the airy at the end, I think, is
Annie, Anna. Is that
like husbandary?
It might even cut into Latin somewhere along the line.
Everything is hidden in plain sight.
Yeah.
That's all hidden in plain sight, and then you just have to.
If I could get the phone down off the top of the boat, I'd do it now.
Don't touch that phone.
It's supposed to rain later. Watch out.
Honestly, it's the best internet we've ever had.
It is,
isn't it? This is off-grid YouTubing.
Yeah, it's working out pretty good though.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this. Is that we figured it out? See, we're survivors.
Yeah.
It comes a man. We do not care. We got.
You don't need a big place. You can only sit in one room at one time, or wherever you are.
Exactly. It doesn't matter what what you have to be, where you got to be anyway. So yeah. And I was thinking, like, I missed my appointment like last week, and I'm like, well, what if something bad happens? Like, maybe that's why I didn't have my appointment, and then they had to reschedule and everything.
Yeah.
They messed it all up.
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Think of it instead of being like mad, be like, oh God, what if somebody went and wanted to bomb the hospital? Good thing I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah, come
on similar lines. Brittany's just asked, do you feel that we have done a time loop in the past 5 years?
Oh yeah, definitely. As in what, a parallel shift?
Made no headway, I guess.
It just says a time loop. I'm not quite sure. I'll see if she pops up with anything else.
Parallel shifting, yeah. I mean, that is one of our. I think that is one of our superpowers. We can walk many parallels at the same time, but we can't always see it.
I've been bobbing in and out of parallels.
Yeah,
and I'm wondering about in and out of different ones. Yeah.
Yeah, when we go on our journeys, we're dealing with about millions of stories at the same time, and when we come back, we're like, "Woo! What the fuck happened there?" You know what I mean? And like,
it's a bit like Spaghetti Junction.
Spaghetti Junction.
You have to figure out what bit is with what bit.
What bit with what bit? Because you're almost like you've been dealing with many stories at the same time, but you also feel that you're also dealing with stories that you don't even know yet.
Yeah. Do you find this is I was thinking about this recently. about shared timelines or shared realities, and because we create our own reality, right? So we have a collective one where we, you know, all come together and believe certain things, you know, go into the shopping centre this way, drive on this side of the road, you know, all these things that we do together. But then we all go home to our respective homes and create our own reality, right? So you're living your own reality. Like mine is very different to some people with this COVID shit, right? Because I create in a different way. I create in a much more positive, higher vibration. Yet there's all of these, there's trillions of other realities, you know, co-created realities. So jumping in and out of your own, this is where I sort of, for a while, I thought it was the Mandela effect, and then because there'd just be inconsistencies that you couldn't even tell someone about. They're only of importance to yourself.
Yeah.
So I started to wonder, like, how many timelines am I like bobbing in and out of timelines, and it's happening more?
Yeah,
it's
treading loads.
Yeah.
I mean, when we go on our journeys, there's that many different timelines and like parallels that we're dealing with and energies and stuff, and it's like we're sort of like, what the fuck happened? You know what I mean? Because that don't make sense with that. But then you realise you're doing something else somewhere else. But then you realise you're doing stuff elsewhere and you don't even know you're doing it.
Right.
You know, like when you're asleep and you know. Yeah.
We're elsewhere as well. You know what I mean? Doing stuff and the energies that we deal with, the energy guys are wicked. When we used to deal a lot with the energy guys, they were wicked, weren't they?
Yeah.
They unbelievable what they used to build and stuff. And you'd be sitting outside and there's like building things around you. And it's almost like all built out of energy, like big massive pylons and this and that and blah blah, and it's all in energy, almost like Meccano energy, and it all fits together and everything, and they're all working to get you out of this stucco where we used to be like stuck in something, and next to them they'd turn up and they'd be outside.
It's almost like problem solving and how to get out of certain situations. And what things work best to move forward, or
and the same as this, they get tired.
Do you see this?
Yeah,
yeah.
The little people, remember the little people in the trees?
Yeah,
and they're about as big as this, and they just look like us, but they're about as big as this, and those were in the trees, weren't they? And then there's two kids, and there was helping pass this energy through from somewhere else, and there's in the tree, and I was pushing some energy out of the house, and it was really tight, and it shot out, hit these two energy kids in the tree.
And knocked them out the tree.
Floated them out of the tree and pumped them onto a roof. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm really sorry. Yeah, they were laughing and then come back to the tree. And then I'm like, really sorry about that. I didn't see you in the tree, mate. Like, because they turn up with the whole family. So they'd be outside the patio door. And there's whole families. And the kids are there. And the mums are there. And everybody else. And they're outside. And they're made out of an energy, but like, I can't quite get my hands on what they're made out, but they can make themselves into anything. So 1 minute they can be standing there, and the clothes they wear are fantastic, aren't they? I'm like, where do you not get your clothes from? Because they've all got clothes. They look like us, but they're like energy versions of us.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they can stretch themselves, go woof, right into the top of the sky, and be as tall as that while they're doing something, and then back down again. So they can manifest themselves into any shape that they want.
Or they can actually make equipment out of the energy that they are to help them do something or make something.
Or make something.
Look, I was only just reading recently about our ability to shapeshift as humans. We've got lots of ability.
Some of them actually dress like they're they're in work gear and doing work things.
They've got face masks on, and they're doing this, and like they've got welding masks on, and they're doing welding and stuff, and they've got. And I'm like, I would go.
Spaceman one. What's with the space out?
Yeah, space. Hold on a minute, you lot.
Lovely.
You're all wearing that gear. So how dangerous is this energy? And they're all fucking like, and I'm sitting in it, you're passing it through, and you're all sitting all with this fucking work gear on.
They've all got health and safety out.
They've got on your health and safety. They've got the fucking vests on, the fucking eye vises on, with crosses on, and everything else.
Really funny.
It's really funny. It really is fucking. It's like fucking hell. And you see some guys one at a time, and there's women as well, and they've got different animals, like dogs and stuff like that, and blah blah blah.
Some of them look like they're out of a farm, and they've got all farm animals.
Yeah, farm animals, yeah. Yeah, and almost like herding
Amazing.
sheep and stuff. And
Some of them look like cowboys, and they're riding horses.
yeah,
and-
beautiful horses. The horses are stunning. And they've got like suits of armour on the horses, aren't they?
Yeah.
Like singing, and they've got horses. Yeah. And then one minute
It's amazing what they do. It really is
they
amazing.
can be coming towards you, but like a stagecoach and horses as they're pulling the energy through. And then as they come through the house, all of a sudden,
It's like they make a game out of whatever task they've got.
yeah,
So they
they're
make a
sitting on a
game out of
motorbike
it.
and they're going through the lounge and around the lounge on the motorbike, and they go out the other side. It's like, it's like, what?
They just make fun out of whatever task they've got to
do. Yeah.
really
Leading
cool,
by
isn't it?
example.
Yeah.
To make things fun rather than
Yeah.
Yeah.
task.
And
None of it's hard work. None of it's
no, and then
Any kind of
they're
effort,
going to go into like fucked up mode because they're just doing it for fun, and they'll have like a big box on the head, yeah, and they'll be standing there like
some of them not really fun.
fucking with a big box on the head, or
I used
this.
to get quite paranoid about the fucked up stuff because it really was fucked
They've
up.
got a sense of
And I'm
humour,
not a big fan of like horror films and stuff. And
but they never hurt you.
no, you
And,
never.
and then you used to reach into the lounge, and then Rusty, a dog, he'd be sitting there, and he'd be rubbing his head and playing with him, and he'd be like looking out the window, going, "Oh." Yeah. But they do get tired as well, because I say, you know, sometimes if you're doing something, you know, it's a long old jaunt. What we're doing, I go, "You guys tired?" And they're like, "Yeah." I said, "You hungry?" We go, "Yeah." I said, "Well, shall we make some food? What would you like? Should we order some food?" You know, "Yeah." So we ordered.
Dive in.
And they all dive in, and all these energy hands, and they're all diving in on your kebab. And you're trying to eat your kebab, and everybody's on it. Because they used to take on.
Or if you put like MasterChef on the telly,
Mm.
they'll dive into that and have that meal as
They have
well.
that, and they do a copy of it, and have the energy of it, and they'd be eating that. Or sometimes they could be eating for us, and we feel full, and we could be eating for them, and they feel full.
That makes sense.
Or sleeping.
Or sleeping, or they'd just be sleeping for us while we're doing something. But it's a long journey, so they'll be sleeping while we're doing something, so I can carry on. Yeah,
It's like a sharing thing.
it's
isn't
like a
it?
sharing thing. Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
It's like a symbiotic.
they're definitely a being. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Go to
That's that time where they were putting sheets of whatever energy into the walls to
Yeah.
keep us safe.
keep
weren't
us
they?
safe. They
Or
built
whatever-
a box around us.
I can't remember what the situation was, but they
Yeah,
were.
they cut us free.
We watched them for ages, loading sheets of this particular kind of energy into all the walls around our whole room.
Where we
didn't
were,
they?
floors,
Yeah.
walls,
And the
And-
windows had ended up like having a greenish tinge
Force
to it,
field on
almost
them.
like
yeah. And it's almost like they're cutting.
protectors
It's almost like they
from-
cut us out, wasn't it? And you can see the energy
Or
going through the
separators.
walls. And they've got a different type of energy, haven't they, for whatever they've got to do. And then you see them outside because
It's quite fascinating.
you see them outside because the energy gun or whatever they've made to use to create it were broken. So you can see them like bashing it, going, "Oh, it's fucked up." You know what I mean? It's not working properly. And then somebody else will come in to help try and fix it. Yeah. So it's like well,
Crazy.
crazy, but real.
Yeah.
But real. And but like they never hurt you, did they?
No,
These-
no.
They're fun when they've got nothing to do.
It's create mischief.
It's to create mischief and then fighting. So then we have to have energy fights. So then at that particular point, didn't know really what's going on, but all these energies are attacking you. But it's just an old thing that we all used to do.
Play fight.
Play fights. It's play fighting, but with energy. So then you just use it.
Every time at the end of every mission week or session or journey or whatever you want to call it, at the end they'd always end it with a big
A
fight.
big fight. energy fight.
Or 1 minute they're your friends and we're all
Yeah.
working together, and the next minute they're all attacking you, and it's like
What
what?
the fuck? And then they've got these energy guns. I've just got my hands, so I'm beating the life out of them. I'll have them chained to the wall, to window. I'll have their arm.
They're shooting energy in at
Actors, and I'll get
Oh
it, and then
my god!
literally I wrap one of their arms up and chop one of their arms off, and then I've got their arm in the house. But it was just a game. Yeah, because we've done
It
what
took
we've
us a
done.
long time to realise.
Took us
that.
a long time that. It's pretty freaky, but it was just a game of when we've finished what we've got to do, and
Let's have a play fight.
let's have a play fight. And it was like, at the time, we're like, fucking hell, she wants to try and fucking get it, isn't it? Fucking because I didn't understand it at the time, because I didn't have the communication with it. But it's just literally play fight. But also by play fighting, you're dealing with loads of different energies. So our energies was evolving into a whole new energy because we're fighting with energies and different types of energies. green ones, red ones, and they're all different sort of colours and stuff, and mixing them together. So I think it was just a way of evolving, helping them, because at one point their energies were so low. They'd
been attacked with carbon, actually.
They'd been attacked by with a carbon or something, and they'd been attacked and drained.
Yeah, this one particular journey, they turned up and they almost looked like they were like evaporating,
because their colours are so vibrant. Really bing, and and I went, what's wrong with you guys? What's wrong with you?
What's going on? What's wrong? And
they got tricked into something, and they got shut down. Their energies got shut down, and
spent ages trying to help them.
And get their energies back. And so in the end, we were having to change their energies over to a different type of energy,
to evolve it, to try and boost it up a bit.
Which was quite funny, really, because by the end of it, I could never grab them before, because they're always like slippery little fuckers, and I couldn't grab them. But by the end of it, I could grab them and go, right, gotcha.
The play fight.
The play fight. So where before I couldn't grab them, they come running through the house, and I couldn't grab them. But now, because I've evolved their energy to help them, I could fucking grab them. So I was tying them in knots and stuff, and tying them together, and they're like, fucking hell. but it was good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, once we realised they weren't actually out to hurt us.
Yeah. Once we realised it's now playtime.
It's a play fight. It's not.
I don't understand their language. They understand our language. They understand the words that we talk. So when I'm talking to, they understand it.
They haven't got any physicality. They haven't got a voice box. So they've got no vibration.
But they talk to each other, and they use like a mask, or so they almost like a mobile phone, but they use something, and they communicate with each other, so they can actually talk. And I have heard them slightly. It's like a squeak or an energy talk, and they talk through that to communicate with each other. But I can't hear their communication, because they've got no voice box, because they're an energy, so they've got no vibration. So then
there's no physical
noise. So I was trying to create a physical voice box for them, and thinking to make them more vocal, to make them a bit more solid, so I could communicate with them a lot better. But then I could grab them. You get it? I gotcha.
I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm going to have to go. So I didn't want to do it without saying goodbye to everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Just remember, we know where you live.
Yeah,
lovely to meet you.
Bye, everybody.
You know where you live.
Bye.
Right. Cheers, Dash. Right. So do you want to do the hand thing?
Yeah. Oh,
3 hours nearly, isn't it? Right. So the way the hand thing works is what was given as well. So your dominant eye. So if you're right-handed, you'll hold say a baseball bat like this. So you cover your left eye over, yeah. You've still got your peripheral view.
Peripheral vision.
You don't need your right, because your left takes control of it. So to work out which eye you are, if you do that, and then you look through that center of that, and you can open one eye and close one eye, one of the eyes will stay in the same place. It won't move. That's your dominant eye.
I used to do that when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah, you do that. You look through both eyes, close one, move, and on one of it move. On one it stays in the same place. That's your dominant eye.
Yep.
Yeah. That makes you dominant. So, get it?
I'm confused now.
Yes, exactly.
This is really hard, but it's so simple. Honestly, it really is. So what you do is you make a circle, and you look through that circle.
Look through that circle.
With both eyes open. Yeah. And then you close one eye.
Oh.
Yeah, and one of the eyes stays in the same place. That's your dominant eye. Yeah.
My right eye. I'm right-handed and right-eyed. Wow.
Because they're all messed up. You're the same. They all get messed up. Yeah. And then that's probably why you're if you're playing like a baseball, your sort of hand to eye communicate thingy isn't that great, because you're not balanced properly, because the eyes aren't in sync to what it should be. So if you're basically if you're right-handed, you should be dominant left-eyed, because you stand like that. So you're literally looking down the pitch that way around as you're looking down.
Well, because I'm left-handed, but I'm also left dominant eyed.
But
but my balance is
thingy. So the way you're doing it, it's so simple, but it's really hard to do. Right?
It is really hard.
So what you do, what you have to do is you have to put your hands in front
of you, stretched out, right?
Stretched out, yeah.
Hands in front, stretched out.
And then you use your centre of your thumbs, as like a target on a gun, and you pick one point on the wall.
On the wall opposite.
On the wall opposite.
And stare at that point on the wall.
Yeah, with both eyes open.
And remember, no blinking.
There's you can't.
Stretch your arms out, Amy.
Yeah, stretch your arms out, Amy. Push your arm right out, something like that, in front of you. Yeah. You're not allowed to blink or anything else. So now, if you're now what you do is, if you're dominantly right-handed, it's the opposite of your thinking. What you do is you get your right hand and you move your right hand out of sight.
Completely out of your peripheral vision whilst keeping it outstretched.
Yeah.
And leave it there.
Leave it there. And then
do the same with your left hand.
Then move your left hand.
Move it out of your peripheral vision. Straight out.
You blink.
You
blink.
Cheryl blinks. You blink. Not allowed to blink.
Right, it's really hard.
Start again.
Start again.
It's really hard.
It's really hard. Right? So what you do is you have to practice it. But you put it straight in front like that, and you don't blink, and it's literally like that. So you can't see, and then you sit and relax. Yeah.
And you do that 3 times.
3 times.
Without blinking.
Well, you need loads of juice like that.
We did this the other night. I know we're going now, and
It's like,
I'm right onto this.
Yeah.
I get so much information on a daily basis. It's like, okay, I got to jar that memory. Like I refer to it as memory warehouse.
Yeah.
I got a memory warehouse. I get it.
It's really hard, isn't it? You did well. So you're like, I blink. Oh, that's okay. And practice that on a regular basis. What it does, it balances you. And what it does is, if you're dominant right hand, I don't know how it works, but it switches your eye over. So now try to see which your dominant eye is now, as if it switched it.
What, like that?
Yeah.
I don't know what you know. Ever since then, I've been using my left hand.
Yeah, so switch dominant eye over. Yeah. So now, and you're sitting with your left hand. Left-handed.
You're pointing with your left hand.
Did you notice that? I've been doing that all night. I write with my right hand.
I can work both hands because I've done nails for like 35 years. So when I do them, I can't really tell whether I'm using my dominant or not. However, I still write with one hand, this is my strongest hand. So I tend to not. So do you mean this just changes your brain, or does it change how much you're using your opposite hand? Or is it just your brain? Now my brain has
you're bringing everything in there into focus. Everything the way you were thinking before was what you were taught. I think we lost them.
Yeah, but what I'm wondering is, does it mean that you start?
We're back. So we lost you then.
Yay!
We all went then.
We all went somewhere then because it all got jammed up.
We all threw our hands around.
All the fingers up. That's what it is. It's all the fingers up.
There we go. We were like doing it.
Yeah, but keep practicing. It's really hard, but keep doing it. You dominate your side. You bum, bum, bum.
You actually get to the point where you can actually physically feel your eye flick from one to the other.
And when it does,
you can actually do it. You can actually train yourself to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Without doing that.
So basically, what it does, it opens that channel up that has never been programmed with symbols going back to the letter and how it works, because you're swapping your dominant. You've been all your life. You've been writing everything with dominant eye on one side of the paper. So by doing that, swapping the dominant eye over, you're opening that side of the brain to receive new information. It's just something we got given, isn't it? And when I worked it out, I was like,
if you ever feel a bit tired, swap your eyes over and it wakes you up.
Refreshes you again. And it was given to us at the same time as Abracadabra, the bucket ladder, everything we was doing.
Yeah, it was all the same time.
And then I used to teach people of like, it was hard to get the information across. So then this came along, and then I used to sit talking to them how things work and stuff. And it was just a clear channel straight through. And that's when I realized it opens that channel up because you're swapping the dominant eye over. So your dominant eye opens your side of the brain that's not being controlled with symbols, and it releases
obviously it. Your ego doesn't function on the other side as well.
Yeah.
So you would just follow past.
That's what I was trying to get out. It makes you like think the way you're supposed to think. That's what I was trying to get it out. It's not as hard as you think it is, because even though you've been like caught, and this is the hand, your dominant thing, for some reason it balances out and you can use this hand, and you start using this hand because that's how it was supposed to be for you. And I'm not saying that it's left-handed or right-handed people either. It's I don't know, it's just the way it feels like it's supposed to be.
The human body is very amazing, and we don't even know a little fly shiver how clever we are. I mean, maybe just doing these, this is we can shapeshift, or who knows. I mean, I think we're at the very baby stages of
this was given to me at the same time as Abracadabra and the bucket letter, and it was all coming in all at the same sort of time. Everything was all evolving at the same time. And then the Abracadabra came along, and then this came along, and then everything else, and then we did the banks and blah blah. And it's almost like wherever we are, it's to sort of problem out. It's not that the problem's put in front of us, but the information is given to us to nail it and to find out what these problems are with the banks and stuff like that. But that once I learned it, we went out for the night. I was like, I want to go out for one night only. Yeah. Now I know what I know. We went to this pub where it was like all ravers and that, so everybody's all fucked off the tits and that. And I swapped everybody over in that pub to left-handed or right-handed.
Everybody. Honestly, it was the most hilarious thing I have ever seen, ever.
And literally people sitting up like that, all of a sudden I go sleep, and they go, ooh, and the whole pub went sleep by the bar, and then they're like awake and
again.
And there's two guys there, right? And
there's two guys sat right over the other side of the room,
and
they were watching.
And they was watching, and there was the last two to go boom, sleep like that, and then literally they came over to us at the end of the night, shook my hand, and went, "That was the best show we've ever seen in our life. Thank you very much," and walked out. So fuck knows who they were.
This is
they
like
were more clued up about energy.
There was more
than
clued up.
Everybody else in the pub.
Yeah.
Because it took them the longest to.
Do a bush, yeah. And they came over to me, shook my hand, and went, "That was fucking amazing, mate."
Well, because they were naysayers, they were looking to find the hole in your thing or to be able to put it down.
Yeah.
And then changing over.
They were the only ones in the whole bar that was actually aware
that
everybody was going,
ooh. Yeah, we're laughing. And then people came round to the after party afterwards and went, "How long does this last for?" I said, "I don't fucking know."
I'm still not done.
They come around 2 days later and go, "How long does it last for?" Because I don't know.
But it's a bit like a friend of mine taught me years back, great chick, when they used to pass a joint around, and when things were getting a bit naff and ratty, she'd change it around and go the other way around.
Yeah.
So it didn't matter clockwise or anti-clockwise as soon as you changed it. So I'm seeing the parallel here, so that if it starts going one way, I think that's everyone, adding to maybe a negative energy. And you stop it and send it the other way, which I think is similar to what you're doing with this changing the dominant
side over. And the funny you should say that as well, because something we learned about the universe is because it spins clockwise, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter.
Oh,
but the ones we've been dealing with spin anti-clockwise because it keeps them loose, so it expands. So that spins, gets tighter, till it comes to this grinding hole. The ones we've been dealing with have been spinning in the opposite way, so it loosens them up.
But even anti-aging, even cells that anti-age, I'm thinking about stuff I learned 20 years ago. they spiral anti-clockwise.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to do anything on like a want to be younger, want to be better, whatever, it's always anti-clockwise rather than clockwise. So go figure.
When
And I
reverse
think
the
Yeah.
spell,
the universe is anti as well.
when you reverse the spell, it's called in German. It's called Widerstand. That means to
Isn't that little
go
plastic
backwards,
thing?
take it
That
away.
guy that spins that plastic thing. Have you seen that? It's it was on a free energy video I was watching the other day, and it's a little
Gyro.
it's a plastic thing. It's just a little bit bowed, and when you spin it one way, it just spins and spins, but you try to spin it the other way and it just won't. It just doesn't want to spin. It won't go. It's to do with, you know, like what do you call when gyroscopic energy, I think. And one way is good and one way it just doesn't want to go. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
Does that tie in with water going down a drain?
No, you can spin it either way.
Can you?
Yeah, well, it's a myth that water. You can actually, if you fill a basin up, rotate it that way, it'll go around that way. It's just which way it likes to spin. Whenever it sucks itself down the vortex, it can go either way, really.
Right.
You spin it. You have a mess around with it. Yeah, it naturally it depends on the way of thinking. But if it goes that way, you can just rotate it that way. It won't go back. It'll just keep on going around that way.
That way, yeah.
I think positivity or light, anything, you know, on a lighter vibrational level, I think is that anti-clockwise, whereas
definitely anti-clockwise. Definitely
establishment, I think, is winding you up. You know, what does the establishment do? It winds you up. Like what did you just say about going clockwise?
What did you do? Do a
it is tighter and tighter, and you know, I mean, you know, everything you do, if you're tightening it that way, it's usually closing something down or tightening something up. And clockwise and anti-clockwise undoes something, and definitely when what we've been dealing with is all anti-clockwise because it loosens them up so it spins easier.
Yeah, it stops the friction.
Lets them free.
There you go. Well, a turntable on a record goes clockwise, doesn't it?
Yeah, everything goes clockwise. Yeah, you don't have to. You know what I mean? But it's just that everything's made that way as clockwise, but it's just hoity-toity. It gets tighter and tighter.
I wonder if all the new technologies. I wonder how many of these 6,000, you know, technologies that are coming out, the patents that have been hidden, right? And how many of these are simply just going to be a reversal or a flip of stuff that we already got, like that everybody's used to, and then it'll be like, we're just going to do this, or we're just going to change its polarity or change its whatever, its speed or its dimension or whatever. I think it's going to be as simple as that, because I think one thing about the negativity on this planet, right? They're fucking lazy. They're fucking lazy, and they're not smart. They're evil, but they're lazy and they're not smart. So they'll take this way, and the cheapest, nastiest way to bastardize something is what I've learned. So I'm thinking there's going to be such easy tweaks. Like, come on, humanity's got to pop a fucking break somewhere soon, right? With the people that don't want to be an Einstein, but they also don't want to be a dumbass donkey, where it needs to be simple for people to be able to just change their lives positively in a way where it's just simply like something so simple as just, we'll do it this way, or don't switch it that way, go this way, or, you know. And I think a lot of it is tied up in, they try to make us think everything's big and intricate, and you've got to be
complicated.
And you've got to be nasty to make it in life. Like we were talking to somebody the other day, like, you go back a few hundred years, there's a few nasty, horrible people around, but most people's relatives just normal folk. Where now you've got millions of nasty people, because the thing, but to be nasty, you make money and you're successful. So now it is a go-to place, to be nasty and horrible, because it makes you wealthy and it gives you authority and blah, blah, blah. Being nice, it means you get nothing.
Being nice takes effort. Being a nasty prick.
Yeah, and people can pretend to be nice, but they can't pretend for too long. Yeah, we've noticed that on the travels, haven't we? You know, people can pretend to be nice, but they can only pretend to be nice for so long until they bust the cover, because it's not a natural thing. So it wears them out. So when you actually clock one that's pretending, you just keep going on and on, getting nice, and it just wears them down because it's not natural to them, so they pretend, and it's an act.
It's an act.
Yeah,
it's an act.
and
the same.
Yeah, and it wears them down because they can't. Then all of a sudden, the true colours come out, and you've got them because like you're just pretending, mate, because they're not naturally nice, are they?
No,
they're trying to pretend.
The audience as well. A not nice person is usually around their same energy, so their act, so to speak, their act only goes for short portions because they only need it for short portions. Whereas if you're with someone honest like yourselves, the act only goes for so long, and then they're left going, well, I don't have anything else to give. I mean, and they have to either hate you, diss you, push you away, or make you wrong.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, that is exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you've got that down to a T.
Yeah, because we could sit and talk forever about the journeys we've been on and this and everything. And like, we don't have to make anything up, do we? You know, a lot of people. I mean, how the fuck could we make these stories up? I've got no idea. The imagination you'd have to have. This journeys.
That's why I like you from the very first Abracadabra, because I thought no fucker could make this up.
No, you can't.
And not be a sci-fi writer or be famous, right? There's just no way you're the way you think, the way you go about. I was entranced from the first moments I started to watch that, and I just thought, this is true. There's no way this pair, because you know I only heard your voices then too. I just thought, no way this pair are faking, because it's just this constant flow, and I can really relate to it because I function in that same flow where you just keep going and going and going and going and going, and there is no end, there is no stop. Whereas fake people get annoyed with you and they get pissed with you because it's like, I don't want to have to keep responding to your positivity. I don't want to have to keep coming up with things to say that are just, just roll off your tongue. And that's when they get annoyed. And that's why the Juice Group, I bet you any money, it's attracted the people that just wish you'd fucking shut up and stop being so nice. Stop being so helpful.
Yeah.
Stop being so liked by everybody.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Because we put a thing up there about, the amount of effort that she puts in is unbelievable. I mean, you're on that constantly all the time, literally night and day, keeping on straight and now, answering questions. It's a full-time job. You know what I mean? So I said, well, why don't you put buys of grapefruit for her work she put in? You know what I mean? Put it up there, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, a few people have got a thingy, but all that effort and not that many people really, I don't think they really care. They don't. You sit there upset because you think so. All that effort she puts in, constantly battling the powers that be, but everything else. And just give a little back or whatever. Because the effort, it's a full-time job.
Even if people like join Patreon for just 1 month, it's the equivalent of like 2 very, very cheap cups of coffee.
Yeah,
and it's like people wouldn't even buy me a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
And I said, all that.
That's what it boils down to.
All that effort that you put in, and it's draining you.
But this is a lesson for you.
It is a lesson for me.
But it's helping.
The people I help. I can't stop because the next person could be a good person and they might need that help.
And you get so many lovely thank you letters and everything else, and it's helped so many people. But
I've met so many lovely people.
But it is draining.
It is very draining.
When they do that to her, all they do is when they make these nasty comments in the group, she is getting so much stress. Her back. That's why it was so bad last week.
It just puts a reality on how sad humanity really is, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
That's taken away from the people that if you don't want it, to each his own. Go back to business. Leave it alone. If you're not getting paid to do this, I think they're getting paid.
Yeah, he's not getting paid. It's just that. It's just like, if everybody gave her £1, whatever, to say thanks for all the effort you put in. It just shows. It just shows that people care or how much effort you put in. But here again, a lot of people don't even realise how much effort it is.
No,
but a lot of people, it's not their job also, and I know this might sound hard, but it's not their job to come and validate you either.
No.
So this is what I'm saying about the lesson, about how much because I don't think you'll ever stop giving. I'm the same. I would never.
I can't help it. It's like being on a freight train, isn't it? Once you start, you can't stop, because the next person could be that person that really needs it.
Yeah,
exactly. But you have to be able to reserve all the energies that go in that people don't see. You know what I mean? Like your genuineness will seep out. It's nearly like beautiful wisps that go in. Yeah. It's about learning to withhold your essence. You still get the information, but you withhold the essence, because that's what people are taking from you. Anything that shines bright, everybody wants to get in there and they want to bask in it. But then next thing, they want to be the light, and they can't. So they want to dull the light. And this is where I think when you're not, your light would shine anyway, you Pet, like it or not, even if you only opened your mouth for a few sentences, your light shines bright. Not allowed to be,
Or, but I mean, you like it is draining, and it's probably the fact of the amount of trolls we're getting now. You know, corporate trolls. It's horrendous. It is horrendous. But here again, the good thing about it is we're making an impact. Yeah, it's upsetting the big boys, so we'll keep going because it's upsetting the big boys. Yeah, but it is hard work. Yeah. But it has caught the attention of the big boys now. You know what I mean? Because
you've made moves to preserve what you've done. You know, with Patreon and doing the videos separate.
We've had to. We've had to store it somewhere. And it's about the only safest place to do it, because all the information we've got about blood pressure, a sciatic nerve, this, that, and everything else. We're trying,
especially blood pressure. It goes completely against medical science.
And you know, we're trying. You get as much information out as possible, and you're storing it in there. Well, we've got it on hard drives as well. You know what I mean? We're storing that information in case we get. Here's a trick. I mean. We were talking about the banks a while ago on one of the podcasts and what we did, but we was looking for some old paperwork. We thought, I found the old laptop, and I thought, we use that laptop to do all the work on. So the information still be in that old laptop. So we took it to a shop, didn't we?
There's a shop right near it.
So we took it to a shop and they took the hard drive out because we lost the battery charger. We took the hard drive out and they tried
we lost the power cable.
Yeah.
So we couldn't plug it in to switch it on.
So they whipped the hard drive out and they left it there for 3 days and couldn't get no information out of it whatsoever. But it basically boiled down to what had happened was it had been what was it called?
The chap said he tried every tip and trick in the IT world book of getting into the hard drive, and he said the only conclusion that anybody could come to with that particular laptop is it's been sabotaged with a thing called a data shredder, where the actual physicality, the actual mechanism is all fully working, it's all functioning. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. When you plug it in, it is showing that there is a hard drive there, but you can't actually get any further. It won't ask you. It won't ask you to reformat it, to reuse it. You can't have that. You haven't got that option. And then you can't go into the background of it to see the data log if anything's been deleted. It's not just a case of it's been wiped clean. It's literally the data has been shredded. And he says the time that it was data shredded, that particular data shredding software wasn't in the world. It wasn't in the world for another 6 or 7 years. It wasn't available to the masses for another 6 or 7 years. So it must have been government or whoever, the
powers that be shredding all the evidence.
We didn't realise
this
week.
We've never used it since, so we didn't know we'd been cyber attacked.
But they can't take the experience anyway. I mean, you still got your memories of it.
But the thing is, what we have learned, put everything onto a CD. It can't be attacked or anything.
Unless they physically come and break it.
Unless they physically break it, so anybody that's doing anything out there
But they can over the waves. They can attack USB sticks or your hard drive or.
We're going to attack it. Sorry, I'm going to drink. But literally, burn it onto a CD on a CD writer. I'll get it.
So USB sticks aren't completely safe either.
No,
because they can go over the Wi-Fi or whatever and log into it and delete it or data shred it or.
Yeah. So anybody wants to store anything?
Unless you use the USB stick on a computer that's never ever hooked up to the internet.
You're okay.
You feel all right then.
But anything.
As soon as it's available to the network,
so anything you want to store or keep safe,
put it on a CD.
And keep it on a CD. Burn it on a CD.
Because then the only way they would be able to have to sabotage it is by physically breaking it.
They can't get to it.
They'd have to break into your property to do that,
yeah.
wouldn't they?
Because we realised that because we found all our old CDs that we made from our old parties. You see, bit damaged, but we're gonna get all the music that we used to make, and then we're going to bring a CD out because they're all still fine and they're 20 years old. Because none of that could be corrupted. But if we left it on the computer, we'd have lost a lot.
Because I know a CD get, what is it, like CD cancer, where I've seen them where they start to perish. They get like what is that called?
Yeah, that's only if you put hand
cream.
Hand cream's the worst.
Hand cream's worse.
Hand cream.
Yeah. Yeah, because we found all
our hand creams have got a lot of propylene glycol in, haven't they?
Yeah. So we're gonna program because they got damaged, but I've literally got these are literally all the CDs I made and mixed from all of our parties. So
hours and hours and hours.
This is like 8 years of after parties when we used to make our own music. But it's in there is all the energy from everybody being in the house and everything else and partying and Abracadabra and everything else. So we've got all the fun and the laughter because it's all recorded in the CDs because we used to make all this music while everybody's around the house.
You could end up being something, in 5 years from now, we'll realise how magical CDs and DVDs are. Maybe they're, like records can get broken, cassette tapes. Well, fuck, we all know what happened to them. They just like.
But that was lesson learned. Anybody wants to keep anything safe, not keep it on your computer because they can get to you with a shredder. So literally, if you've got any information and you want to keep it safe, all these Zoom ones we're burning onto CDs and we're just going to put them away in CDs to keep them safe. Then we can just download them wherever we want. We still got them. Yeah. Otherwise, they can be shredded.
Such a
simple as that.
Easy to store a CD, it's
CD, and it's amazing how much information.
As long as you don't put moisturiser, hand creams. Hand creams are the worst for CDs.
To be fair, right, we've had every little chemical you could think of on these CDs.
Yeah, apart from hand cream.
Apart from hand cream, and they still fucking work.
Yeah, bad gash and all sorts.
Everything, isn't it? Yeah. And they still work. So that was lesson learned. If you want to keep something, burn it. You get these CDs. You can put tons of information on a CD. You can get more than you actually think. Burn it onto CDs, keep them safe, keep them out from the computer, because we realised it's easy to get these shredders, and it's not a virus, it's a mechanical thing that they come into your computer and do and shred it.
Wow!
It's almost like going through your computer with a hammer and chisel, breaking the inside, but it doesn't damage the actual computer itself.
I think your mixes, there's messages in your mixes. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm not a house music person. I didn't come. Like, I like music, but it's
not about the genre. It's about how you feel. Yeah. It's about how do you feel when you listen to it.
Well, actually, I've got a thing down.
The more I would take the time to listen and I relax, something happened. I don't know what it was, and it's like, there's something about the mixes. I'm telling you, it's like there's a message in it or something.
When we put them on the other day, my eyes felt like they woke up.
This is going back a bit. Now
where you got that?
This is going. If you can say, this is going back a bit. Yeah. What it was, we used to do the mixes Yeah.
And then we used to analyse it.
So basically, I just pick any record, all the records.
Whatever comes to hand. He never looked at names or pictures or whatever. He would just randomly pick a record out, whatever came to his hand.
Whatever came to hand, and put them on and mix them together. Whatever it was, I didn't even know, because they weren't even in the right fucking sleeves. I ain't got fucking...
They were all mixed up all over.
They still are.
They still are. Yeah.
Right. So we used to analyse the words in the
play it back, and listen out for what words popped out.
And I found it's one of the mixes it did, and the words that were in it. And when you listen to the lyrical words, it was like thousands of different records put together. It actually tells you a fucking story of every looking record.
Exactly.
and that you just need to read it. Is it?
Oh yeah. Something, baby. Turn me around. Remind I need someone to get me ecstasy, and I need someone to take me higher. I need a new kind of medicine. Who goes there? I want your love. I want it. I need it. Mary B. I am the creator. Joy. Feel it here. Comes the sound. Hey, hey. Hey, yay. Yeah, reaching for your love. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Come on. You're running out of time. It's the heat of the night, and you know just what I'm looking for. There's a lover hour. I'm a prisoner of your love. And trois quatre, Jack, don't stop. All right, let's go. People of the world, feed from the mouth. Open up your heart and say yes. Take a risk. Make room. Open up the heart and let's go. People, keep on learning. Soldiers, keep on. I can't see what that was. Keep on wearing the world. Hearing the world.
Hearing the world.
Keep on turning. That's all you need to know. People of the world, let's go. It's something like the way you touch me to get me in the mood. So right, so good. Make some noise. Kama Sutra. I want to see your body. Outdo it. Are you moving? Are you grooving? Are you shaking? Are you reflecting? Oh, you turn me up. Never turn me down. Let the feeling out. Rally all around. Turn up the funky style. Sweet, sweet love. I need love. Give me your love. Gone wrong. Got to have hope in your soul. And I see girls. You know I see you. Girl, you know I want you, girl. What's that? Something, you're driving me crazy.
And that was all the words out of like 90 minutes of mixing. How much that?
Wow. Writing, isn't it, nearly?
It's fucking mental, isn't it?
It's like it all fits like a story.
Like a story. And it's literally,
Yeah.
we sat down and listened to all the mix, and we just literally took the words out of the mix and we wrote them down. And then literally when I did the mix, that's all the words out of like all loads of different records.
Yeah.
And that's story it told. So it was telling stories in the mixes.
See, I look backwards. I reverse engineer and think universe just steered you to them.
Yeah.
So you would take and then produce the art.
Yeah.
It's like a secret message.
Like a secret message. You're telling yourself.
Yeah. You
It's
divined
mental.
it. Yeah.
And that was all the mixes. And that was just, I found that when we were digging the boxes out. I mean, that goes right back to the beginning of Abracadabra when we was talking about it. But it just shows the power of the words and the music and all these random mixes I was doing. And this is the story it tells you when you're listening to the music. It's telling you a story. And all the words fit together perfectly. It's mad, isn't it?
That's the words you got to think about. It's not like...
Yeah.
Again, where you got to think. You got to discipline your mind to just not just have it, some people want everything made so easy. Like, where's all the joining words? It doesn't make sense.
2006 that was.
And you go, it's not like that. You have to actually take all the fragments.
Yeah.
And not be so demanding that everything be in mainstream format. But that's where people are at. They want it in such a way that it's easy to read, easy to listen to, easy to duplicate, easy to eat, easy. Anything
and fragmented as well.
Else has done your thinking for you.
Yeah. I've just seen something on their boat.
It's probably them. Yeah. Claire's on security watch. Somebody's on a boat.
If there's someone there, it'd be a good energy bubble.
Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? But I've got literally these all the CDs are made. I've got stacks of them. So I used to make CDs when people used to come out the weekend. I used to burn these CDs off and then send people home with a CD from the weekend and the after party. So they had a party.
Ooh. It's so like a souvenir.
Yeah.
I love that.
So we go, you know what I mean? Thanks for coming. I've got one there. I think it's called Thanks for Coming, but I spelled it is.
Yeah.
But first spelled it CUMING. like a play on words. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do, some of them have got damaged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out what's got damaged and put them back together again if anyone's interested. And I'm going to put them out there, I think, because it's music.
You taught them, right? If you've taught them to sit down and just take words.
I don't know if you see that. Look. Thanks for coming. Because that's one of the CDs I sent somebody home with. Look, and it's got thanks for coming on it.
Coming. Yeah.
So you see, these stories are real.
It'll be interesting to see the more stories, because it's like anything. Years down the track, you reinterpret things later on. You get a different wisdom set in your mind, and you look at the same things again. Or I mean, like those CDs would probably tell how many different stories over time. Yeah, probably. It's like a crystal holds how much, a hologram rather, and a crystal holds how much information, so I think in a way it's like how you jig it. Your music, you can jig it at different times in your life and pull out different meanings, different messages, different intonations.
But I haven't got the decks and stuff anymore, but if anybody's out there that wants us to come into their whatever, we'll get in the zone. I can bring all them records and remix them all. I've still got them all. I've still got all the vinyl.
I think it's a good idea.
And that's all from charity shops. That's all the stuff that we found randomly in charity shops that was given to us. All this music was given to us in charity shops.
Isn't it funny? If you want something, universe says, no problem. Here you go.
Yeah. I even said, go and keep an eye out. We're here on Wednesday. And there it was. Boom. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But you've got to be really chilled, don't you? You can't have a demanding energy or a demanding intention.
No.
When you've asked for something, I've found it's like, you just got to ask, let go.
Yeah.
But still be aware. Like for this instance, it was be aware and go to the op shop and look for them on Wednesday.
Yeah. I said, Wednesday, keep an eye. There's going to be one big push of records. Chomp, go round, find it. Boom, phone call, got them, boxes of them, bring them home. And we've still got them all stacked in the shed even now, ready to rock and roll, really. Oh, and the funny thing is, they're all in wrong sleeves.
Every single one of them. Sorry about that.
So when we pull the records out, it wasn't the case of I'm playing this one, I'm playing that one. It was like, just that one we do. Bang it on, mix it in and see what happens, isn't it? And then I think the longest I mixed, I think it was 36 hours. 36 hours. So
we recorded it all.
I got it on tape. So literally, we had a party, and I was like, I've got the hang of this fucking out. And I said, right, we're gonna have a fucking mix-up party, and anyway, we had a fucking bag of the goodie stuff. And I think I mixed solidly for 36 hours and take the whole lot. I put a long track on and go up and have a shower and come back down again and carry on. 36 hours non-stop. Fuck, and our neighbours never fucking complain.
Not that we heard.
Not that we heard, no. That's fucking true. But honestly, one day, right, we a lot of our friends were like, anyway, we opened the curtains and it was like, Daz, because walked a house full of fucking people and fucking, and goes, what? He goes, there's 2 coppers sitting on your wall. I was like, fuck off. And I'm like,
on the front garden
wall. And I fucking opened the curtains. I've got a house full of like, the most wanted as well. And I'm like, I fucking open the fucking door and I'm like, fucking hell, yeah, the fucking 2 coppers out. I said, don't worry about it. He goes, why? I says, well, all I know is fucking Downing Street, they only have one. We've got 2. So it's fucking, mate, hey. Got the curtains and fucking carry on. No, fucking nothing happened.
If they wanted to, they would come in, right?
Well, people used to leave our house, right? And we go, right, low key, you know what I mean? And they'll go out with like feather boas, lads. Fancy dress. Going to the shop for some more Mobilite and some like king size business, you know what I mean? and they'll go off walking around the streets. I'm like, dancing, skipping, and like we're trying to keep it low key ish. You know what I mean? And,
yeah, but like, zero trouble. That's the thing. Zero trouble.
It used to be brilliant, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
8 years we did an after party.
Yeah, every weekend.
8 years solid we did it for. I used to love bank holidays. It was like, wow, I think bank holiday. We've got an extra 2 days off. It's fucking party, wasn't it? The longest we ever partied, and the gospel truth, was 11 days.
Wow.
As 11 days and nights. It was over a Christmas, and we was partying for 11 days. People come to see us before they went on the Christmas to see the parents. They went off, come back, and we're still partying. I think we might even be in the same fucking clothes.
No,
right, a week later, we're still. A week later, they come back and like, fucking hell, this is
You're such a cheeky fucker.
They've been off on that Christmas dinner and God knows what, a whole week, and come back and we're still partying from when they left us.
We might have been sat in the same places.
No, I mean, definitely the same places. Yeah, no, that went on for 11 days, and then for 2 days we had some unforeseen sleep. I think we just blacked out, and then we thought, right, let's carry on. So we still had another.
Then it was like New Year's Eve. So
New Year's Eve. Start partying again, and that went on for another 4 days. So we had to ring and cancel fucking work, didn't we? Because we're fucking like still fucking partying. but then that's when we was doing the banking. That's when we was doing this. That's when we were doing all of that.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it got serious. It was like, oh, now it's time. You've got some work to do now. So the party side of it, sort of like, we're still partying, but we're working at the same time, and
like learning to use and
evolve until in the end now we yes, we're partying, but we're doing it, but we're working while we're partying.
Yeah,
we're not running rampant around the street with clothes off. If you know what I mean. Respectable now.
Oh, I know.
Pillars of society.
There's nothing wrong with running down the street without your clothes on. There's nothing wrong with that at all.
Normal.
Oh, I thought everybody did that. I go outside naked all the time, but of course I'm not.
What's that? Misty.
But honestly, we know partying. It was that.
Hey, look who's there.
Yeah, it was this. Oh. Here he is.
Yay.
Musty
Rebag.
Hi, Disney boy.
He just woke up.
Of course, jealous. That he's jealous.
Yeah. Now, don't worry, he's not having an heart attack. He has actually got a blue tongue.
They heard they got jealous.
Yeah. It's half Shar-Pei. It's half Shar-Pei and half Staffy.
Okay.
Don't we say that?
Let me shy.
All the kids think he looks
beautiful.
All the kids think he looks like Scooby-Doo. I think he looks like Alf. Remember Alf the alien? They're like, oh, I didn't even care.
Oh, he's so lovely. He's so lovely. He's all gooey because he's just woke up.
Yeah.
Gooey.
Yeah.
And you look, Dad.
You're a
What's this?
Ooh, look, all them 2 people looking at
Oh, isn't he beautiful?
you. He's lovely, isn't he?
Oh, look at your babies.
Do you know what? He's 9. You won't believe it. He's 9 years old, and he still looks like a puppy, doesn't he?
Oh,
I thought he was a puppy.
No, he's not. People say that. People go, hey, your puppy's so well behaved, and we go, yeah, we take. Ooh. Yeah. I didn't. I'm not touching it. All right, I do it. There.
Yeah, that's cool.
There, look, Scooby Doo.
Oh, a little baby.
Oh, look at that.
He's got such a wicked temperament, and yeah,
He's so lovely.
energy dog.
Like attracts like, you know what I mean? You always end up with the right energy, the right soul, the right match.
Yeah, he's the bestest friend, isn't he? You could ever wish for.
This is his happy face, by the way. You want to see him when he's miserable.
Oh, I gave Mom kisses.
This is a warning to Botox when it goes wrong.
Well, mine are going a little bit restless here because I've been on here for so long, and I am so sorry. But
I think we're wrapping up. Yeah, wrap it. Do you know what?
3 hours, 38 minutes.
Yeah,
do I need glasses or what?
Are we doing an
like a Japanese rig? Where are we now?
Are we gonna do an after talk? Are we gonna?
Yeah, I'll quick chat after. Yeah.
Stay on, girls.
I'll get back with you. All right, I'll get with you a little bit.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
I love you guys. Great blessings.
Bit of light watching for the next week.
Yeah.